My guest today has spent over 10 years in residential real estate. He's got 3 kids, all boys.
Yes, sir.
God bless you. A beautiful fiance and a calling that seemingly is flipping his whole world upside down, but in a good way. He's building something that, when I tried looking into it, doesn't really exist yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's a Christian wellness center that blends faith, healing, and business, right?
Yeah,
business
absolutely.
ethics together. Let's get into it, man. Welcome.
Appreciate you, brother.
Welcome to the show,
It's
man.
great to be here.
Yeah, David Cook the third. So, what's David Cook the second and the first like? Are they?
The first is no longer here with us, but
Oh.
he was incredible.
Sure.
My dad is junior. He's out in the Washington State area. I'd say he's been a huge building block to just me, my self-esteem, and just kind of helped me from a young age to believe in myself and just try to be a great person. And so I really, really value my dad. Really respect and have a lot of great things to say about him.
Right on. With your kids, did you do the junior, second, third?
I didn't.
No, you didn't.
No, the lady was saying if we have a 4th boy, that he could be the 4th, but I always feel like it has to be like the first.
The first one.
That's kind of, I don't know. Some people are doing this thing where they're allowing the 3rd or 4th. They're like, oh, I kind of want to keep the name going. I'll just do it on that one. I just feel like I always told us, you're gonna like this. I think my oldest son's name is Anakin, firstborn.
Right on.
So from Star Wars,
Yeah.
and how he turned into Darth Vader.
Uh-huh.
So I said when he turns 18, I'm hoping that he changes his name to David Cook the 4th, and I just think that'd be funny if he
That'd be great.
from Anakin to Darth Vader to David Cook, so that'd be kind of funny.
So, how did you get your wife to sign off on Anakin?
She brought it up.
It was her idea.
It was her idea, dude.
Good job.
Yeah,
Good job. That's very cool.
Picked a good one. Yeah. No, it's cool. We actually, I like the name a lot.
Mm-hmm. And then your second and third son have
Koa,
Koa.
and then Achilles is the youngest.
Yeah, so Koa comes from.
It's a Hawaiian word.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a Hawaiian word for it's one of the trees out there. It's but it also means warrior, supposedly in Hawaiian.
Nice.
They're all kind of warrior names.
Yeah, for sure.
Playing up the theme.
Yeah.
Having fun with it.
Yeah, not raising punk ass bitches.
Yeah.
Raising some men. Yeah. Talk to me. I guess your story starts in real estate. Right?
Yeah.
You were killing it. As I understand it, you're crushing. You're super having a lot of success there.
Am kind of. I mean,
Sure.
it's
so walk me through it. So
Sure.
you started 10 years ago.
Started 10 years ago in Pennsylvania, dropped out of college, got my real estate license, wanted to be an entrepreneur really badly, always resonated with just that entrepreneurial spirit.
Mm-hmm.
But I was 21 and I was cold calling homeowners, and I literally had, never bought a house, was literally living at home. I had no business, honestly. Being in the business at the time with where I was at, my mindset and such, but also just the pure lack of awareness on what it actually meant to buy a house and such. So I tried to learn as much as I could, but basically after a year in the business, I did one sale. And then I was like, you know what? I don't think I want to do this in this small town in Pennsylvania. I really want to move. I want to move. And since I want to move and I'm 21, I should do it now, as opposed to waiting until never and then never doing it. You know what I mean? So me and my lady at the time that I was with, we moved down and moved to St. Pete. Did a road trip through Florida, checked out all of kind of the big cities, went all the way down to the Keys, and just something about St. Pete resonated, fell in love with it, and I think it was 8 months later we moved down. And that was when I initially, just to get kind of boots on the ground, got into personal training for a little bit, just to kind of get some cash flow going, get some income in, meet some people in the community. Worked at a gym downtown St. Pete. That didn't really pan out as I would have, as I was kind of intending for it to. And that led me back into wanting to just kind of go back on my own. And that was when I got my real estate license again. And then that was about 8 years ago here. So overall, 10 years in real estate. And throughout that time as a trainer, I did some wholesaling in real estate, which is, are you familiar?
Not at all. So talk to me as if I'm a small 100%. Child.
I will. No
Feed
problem.
me. Feed me, Seymour.
Yeah. So wholesaling real estate is essentially let's just say you own your house and I see that you've got maybe $200,000 in equity on it. And I know that the market value of your house is, let's just say $550. I know I can offer you $375. You would still make $25,000 if, I offered you $375 because you only owe $350. And then I can take that, but I know I can get an investor to buy for $400 tomorrow. I basically lock up the contract at $375 and then sell it to the guy for $400 who's going to put $50 into it to sell it on market for $550. So that's kind of what wholesaling is. It's basically people, and it's not typically somebody that is looking to sell. It's somebody that needs to sell, typically. You're looking for people that are distressed or that have a house that's just like completely destroyed and it's like really run down.
They let it go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you're just, I mean, really.
So is that what flipping is? Is that what?
Yeah, that's kind of. A lot of flippers will buy homes from wholesalers. They'll buy them because they're usually getting them at a discount from a retail. Or like if it goes on market, usually it's going to be marked up by at least 10, 15, 20% compared to what you could get it from a wholesaler for.
Sure.
Yeah. So wholesaling is what I was working on for a bit, but I felt it was like unethical for me because I wasn't grounded enough financially in my own life to be able to, or just mentally at the time, to be able to really show up and serve. So I was having like this internal battle, which I think is why I never saw success in it, because I just felt like I wasn't living in alignment. And so I feel like it was kind of like I was pushing the success away because I felt like I was taking advantage of people because I knew if they listed the property, they could probably get more money.
Yeah, they could get
'cause a lot of those
25,
people, dude,
they
like,
could get 75, 100, 100. Yeah, right.
Dude, some of the, like one of the guys that I worked for, like in Naples, an old lady was trying to sell her properties, and he bought 2 properties of hers, I think, for like $500,000, and he flipped them within a week, and he made $450,000 on those 2 properties. He made. So I just look at it like, I just feel like to a degree, it's like, where does that become unethical? That like just because this lady didn't have the knowledge that we have, that she's now missing out on all this equity on her properties. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just like, for me, it's but I do think there are guys and gals that run those businesses legitimately, and they really are solving a problem for people. And right now in the market that we're in, there's a lot of people that are facing difficult times, right? Like they're behind on payments, or they're just going through a hard time, and they need an out without taking a bankruptcy, a foreclosure, because that stays on your record, messes you up for 5, 7, 10 years.
Yeah,
so like there is a legitimate need for that.
Sure.
But I think some people
you're saying some of it's predatory.
100%.
Sure.
Yeah, and then you've seen it in some movies probably. Like some movies are like they show it without calling it wholesaling, but that's exactly what they're doing.
Right. Like did you see that movie The Big Short?
Yep.
Yeah. So at one point they come to Florida, right? Steve Carell and his crew, because they're investigating Ryan Gosling saying there's a bubble, right? And he's talking about tranches and all these words. And I love what they did in that movie for people like me, where they introduced like Anthony Bourdain to explain what the hell these things
like
are.
Margot Robbie, I think.
Right,
Like
bathtub thing talking about with and that was for people like me that are like, what
me also, by the way.
What the hell does this mean?
100%.
Right? How is this legal? Wasn't.
Right.
How did they get away with it? They didn't. Well, they kind of actually they did.
They definitely
did.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think one person went to jail.
Yeah.
But to the point, so they come to Florida and there's those 2 dudes. It's the one dude from that movie, New Girl, and it's the other dude that was like, he's been in a bunch of stuff.
I think I know exactly.
Yeah, he was like
talking about.
Yeah, he was the bozo dude in Game Night.
They were both the lenders, I believe.
Yeah. And they were just talking about how like strippers, 100%, right?
Yeah.
And then
like 8 properties.
Yeah, and then Steve Carell goes to the strip club and the chick's like, I have mortgages on 5 properties. And he's like, you own 5 houses? And it's like, so all that to say that, sure, predatory for sure, right? I think that there are people that don't have that gut feeling, that conscience, that alignment.
Yep.
That just don't give a shit.
Yeah, and that's probably any business.
It's not even just business. I think it's human nature, man. So there's a lot of people that are, a lot of people that exist that have the "what's in it for me" mentality.
Sure.
Like, what do I get?
Yeah, and I think on some level I get that. Like, primally, I understand that. I think we're all wired to preserve and persevere and
self-preservation.
To, like, survive. I mean, that's like we're animals at the end of the day to a degree, right?
Yeah.
Conscious beings, but also animals. So
sure, but then there's also, we all have heard the story of like, oh, this guy or girl is the best. They give you the shirt off their back.
Right.
And that's the opposite of self-preservation.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
And we like those people, and we're drawn to that generosity,
sure.
and we're drawn to that compassion and that empathy, right? So I think, when I hear you, one thing you just said that really stuck out to me, it's like, it sounded like, something was missing. You were doing it, but something was missing.
Yeah.
Something was.
It was all about money. It wasn't about people.
Yeah.
It was about money. And I think that's, as I've gotten older, especially after having kids too, I think just like I'm trying to live a life that's more grounded and centered on really what Christ, I believe, stood for in my eyes and in my experiences, just showing up and serving people and trying to live from that. And I believe that God will reward that. I truly believe that. And so I'm just trying to walk that path.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's well, two points there. Welcome.
Yeah.
Right. Because you're new. You're new.
I am.
You're new. Right on.
Yeah. It's been about 3.5 months since I started reading the Bible and really like.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've watched some church services over the last like few years, but like it was never like what it is now.
It was never real for you.
It was never real. Exactly. That's
Yeah.
right. Yep.
Yeah. We grew up, in the ministry. My parents were like, now people would call those types of Christians like Bible thumpers or like holy rollers or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. I had no idea.
My parents were, hardcore, right? So we grew up, we were Sunday school. Like all of our friends, even though we went to public school or whatever, like all of our friends that we spent every holiday together.
Wow.
Every Thanksgiving, every Sunday.
Wow.
We're all families of this ministry, right?
Wow.
In Southern California. And it was like, so, we know all the songs. I know all the songs. I know all, I don't want to say I know the whole book. I don't.
Right.
But like when my dad or anybody's talking about it, like I know the stories. I grew up hearing all and a lot of these verses. I couldn't be like, yo, it's this one, chapter X, right? But I'd be like, oh yeah, I know this. I know the story.
Yeah, of course.
I'm familiar with this. I'm familiar with this parable.
Yeah.
Like all people, you reject it, and you reject it because when you're immature of mind, it's like, well, it's so restricting. I can't have any fun. I can't be me. I can't hang out with my friends. I can't fuck off. I can't smoke weed. I can't, you can't do all these things that in your spirit were rebellious by nature, right? And so you reject it. And then you mentioned kids. Something incredible happens when you and unfortunately not for everybody, but I think for a lot of moms and dads is that when you have that first kid, at least for me, it was like, oh, my life isn't my life anymore. My life is like this child.
For sure.
Like I exist for this to thrive and to lead and to mission to this human, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, all those lessons. Like,
yeah, dude, for sure.
And you're like, oh, shit, yeah, dude, like all of this makes so much more sense than being in a band and being out till 3 a.m. At a bar or like having, dating this girl and also dating this girl at the same time, or like just the shit that I was doing, right? And I'm not bragging by it, just being honest, because I'm not really proud of actually a lot of the stuff that I did 100%. In my 20s. Or at
the time you feel like you think you're so cool.
You think you're living this life.
Yeah, and then you look back and you're like, actually, I don't think I was that happy or anything. It was actually like,
no, it's miserable.
Yeah, it's not. Right? It's not actually fulfilling at all. That's what it is.
0%.
The fulfillment that comes from having the family and then showing up and knowing that you're impacting these lives in a positive way, and you're building these people up is
and also too it was like the guilt, man.
Yeah.
I think that we don't we're not honest. If we were really honest with ourselves, all the self-inflicted shenanigans that happens to us, it's because we're in my opinion, I believe that we're subconsciously punishing ourselves because we know we're guilty of X.
Right.
Or does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Where you're just like, dude,
Right.
You know what you did was wrong. What's cool about Christianity, amongst many things, is that, and again, you see this with your kids, is that I know you made a mistake, little dude. Right, I know I lied to my parents and went to that. I went to that lake trip and laid with the girl in the bag. Mandy in the bag is what they called her. Literally my family gave this girl a nickname, Mandy in the Mandy in a bag. Poor. I don't think they ever said it to her face. And in fact, this is the first time I ever said it loud. So Mandy, if you happen to be watching this, and I'm sure you're not, but if you happen to, sorry. But my point is that like. We punish ourselves because we know we did some shit wrong. And then when you have kids, you go, they do dumb things all the time or act certain ways or whatever. And doesn't matter. I love you no matter what. And now it starts to click.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Christianity makes sense to me.
Yeah.
The relationship with Jesus makes sense to me. Relationship with God makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Right? Versus like, there is no God. Everybody fuck off.
Right.
It's like, no. I've tried that. It's
Right.
not healthy for anybody.
Yeah, no,
It doesn't lead to, feels good in the moment, some of these things,
Yeah, for sure.
but it doesn't bear any fruit, right?
Yeah, I totally
Yeah.
resonate with that. All of that.
Yeah, it doesn't bear any fruit.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like even, I'm trying to think of like, and we're older now, but I can't even think of it. Like, did you ever steal anything growing up?
Oh yeah.
Like from a store, like a candy store or whatever?
I did some stuff that I regret for sure.
Sure.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, cars when I was a teenager.
Oh, right on.
That was bad. I mean, it was like, and it was like I had everything I needed at home. I don't know why I was doing this stupid stuff.
You were in a deficit.
I think I was like 15, and I was just like, what can I steal to like get enough money to go to Wendy's and buy something from the dollar menu? And it's like, it was just like, that was so juvenile, dude.
Yeah.
But it was just being a teenager in a small rural town, honestly, I think. And it's just like, or maybe it happens everywhere, but I feel like it was just the lack of something to do, where we were just like teenagers that had energy, and instead of putting it into good use, we were just like, let's just be degenerates and just try to destroy. And like, we did some crazy stuff. I can't even probably say.
I'm sure,
but
like,
nothing that crazy.
Yeah,
nothing
sure,
that. I mean, but like,
you're free to share.
But
Whatever
definitely
you
we did some stuff that.
But did you, when you were doing it, did you feel? Was there any? Was there ever any remorse the next day? There was
right away in the moment. I mean, I think because I think I was a follower then. Sure. I was a follower as opposed to a leader, and I think So I grew up and I was pretty overweight growing up. Like I think when I was like 10 or 11, I was like 250 pounds and I was like 5'2". So I was like just like a really big kid for my
chubby petite.
Chubby, maybe petite.
Chubby petite is what it is.
Okay. Yeah.
Husky.
I was very husky for sure. But like
big boned.
Yeah. At that early age, it really impacted me, you know?
Yeah.
So there's like a big part of my story was kind of overcoming that at that early age. Cause I was kind of, I was actually like, I had a really, my mom's great. Like stepdad was great. Like, so my parents had split by then, but like I had a great life, honestly. You know what I mean? Like I didn't really have any major adversity besides the weight, and then all the insecurity that came from that for me. So me losing that weight, I think finally gave me the confidence to lead more in my own life and speak up for myself and be somebody that went from the follower of the guys that I was friends with to where I would let them take the reins, and they were a bit more destructive, I would say, in their
Sure.
Whatever they were trying to figure out for themselves, but they were more destructive. And I think my intention in my heart was always in the place of I want to do something that's of service and of giving back.
So even then, before you found Christ.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. I feel like I've always just wanted to be righteous, wanted to live a righteous life. Something about it just always, I don't know, just I've always been drawn to wanting to be that way.
Feels good.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It feels good when you're, I'll use the agency as a perfect example. So I worked for agency for years.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm not besmirching anybody, but like all businesses, there's good ways to do business, and there's, some dodgy behaviors from certain individuals, and that's fine. And I didn't, I always felt gross when I was involved in or complicit or a part of something dodgy.
Yeah, of course.
And not like go to jail dodgy.
Right.
Just even like, oh, hey, we said we were going to do this. We're going to do it this way, and just don't even bring that up.
Right.
Maybe they'll forget. Like even stuff like that.
Yeah.
But anything that was kind of just deceptive at all.
100%.
As I got older, I was just like, man, it made me feel like, ugh,
Yeah.
I don't want to do this shit.
For sure.
So when I started my own agency, I was like, all right, well, perfect. I don't have to do those things.
Right.
I don't have to take jobs that I can't deliver on.
For sure.
And cut corners and rob Peter to pay Paul to kind of shit. I can just, I'm responsible for my own thing.
Right.
I can do the job. I cannot do the job. Right.
Yeah.
I can take the job. I cannot take the job.
100%.
And it's just me. I don't have to lie. I don't have to remember lies that I told.
Right,
I don't
right,
have to
yeah.
try to like backpedal on shit. It's just like,
100%.
yo, it is what it is, man.
Yep.
Did I say that? Oh, okay. I made a mistake. Let me fix it.
Yeah.
And I think that that comes with maturity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. 100%.
But I want to go back. So there was something missing though. So you're doing real estate for 2 years. You came down here. You had to do the fitness thing.
Yeah,
I get it. You had to make some money.
Yeah, exactly.
You were with a different girl at the time.
Yes.
Yeah. She came down from PA with
Yep.
you. Yeah. And then you got back into real estate. Was it burnout from the fitness thing? Was it boredom?
No,
what was it?
My experience with the situation was essentially I was working in a place that, and maybe I was naive because I was new to being a trainer, but I was basically charging what the senior trainer at the facility that had been in the business for 10 years was charging on an hourly rate. Yeah. And I was getting it from clients, and they basically said that I needed to lower my prices, even though people were happily paying it.
Sure.
And so I pushed back on that a bit, and then I was also working the front desk. So kind of they gave me an opportunity. I was working the front desk. They let me do, instead of doing like a NASM or I think it's ACE, like which are like more of the standardized certificates that you would get for being a trainer, they let me get this. I think it was, I forget what the name was. I can see the logo and such, but they let me get this other kind of certificate that wasn't necessarily as mainstream, but I had a certificate, so they were going to allow me to train at the gym. Long story short, I was training, but also, it was like I told the guy about, I think it was 2 or 3 months in advance. I said, hey, I'm really enjoying the training. I'm making way more money doing that than being at the front desk. I gave him like a 3-month notice. I said, within 3 months, I'd like to be out of the front desk completely and only be training and teaching the classes that I'm teaching. And so that time came up, and I was actually on a vacation in California with a buddy, and I flew out there to drive back with him because he had to do the drive back because he was moving back to Florida. And I told him, I said, hey, when I get back, it's been that 3 months that we talked about. I'm looking forward to not being in the office anymore. And I didn't hear him talking about hiring anybody, so I was like, we're going to see what happens.
You're shooing. Yeah.
Yeah.
You felt positive about it.
He was like, when you get back, you're going to work in this front desk or you're not going to work here. And I was like, all right, I quit. So that was kind of what happened. Because so I called my dad, and I was just like, hey, I feel like I told this guy months ago, and I feel like he was kind of holding it over my head. They also were telling me I had to lower my prices. And so all that stuff happened, and I just felt like the energy was, and it was sad because these guys were like mentors to me. They were older, and I looked up to these guys, like the trainer head guy and then the guy that was the manager of the gym.
Sure.
So it was a difficult time for me because I kind of felt like I was, to a degree, a little bit betrayed. So it kind of made me feel a little bit down for a little bit. But, I said, you know what? Okay, I'm going to use this time to... I had a couple clients that I'd gotten outside of the gym, which was nice. So I did that, taught my classes outside the gym in local parks downtown St. Pete. And then I was working on my real estate license, and I think that's when I started bar backing or something as well, or something
Sure.
like that. So
yeah,
just to get by for a bit,
Sure. I got a couple of thoughts there.
Yeah.
Can I? Yeah.
Yeah, of course, dude.
So the first one is, and they're conflicting thoughts.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pro and con
let's do
it.
it.
So the first part is I totally get standing up for yourself, knowing your value, setting the terms, right? Totally get it and respect it because I've done it.
Right.
All right. I've done it multiple times.
Yeah.
Which is where part 2 comes from.
Right.
There is there's a way to get things and there's a way not to get things. And one of the things, and I don't know if this went down for you, so I'll just tell myself a little bit,
Sure.
is that
Yes.
I knew I was talented and they knew I was talented. But there's a bit of ass grabbing that needs to go on.
Yeah.
And humbleness that needs to exist because people get offended easily. Mm-hmm. So you could be the best trainer. You could be, you could have been worth that money.
Right.
100%. I'm not denying that you weren't.
Sure.
And I wasn't there, but I'm just going to use this very loosely.
100%.
If you were an asshole about it,
Right.
didn't matter. Didn't matter how good you were. Now
Right.
you're a dick.
Yeah.
And because we don't like you, it doesn't matter now. Doesn't matter
Yeah.
how great or how many people want to train with you. We don't care anymore because now you've offended the establishment, right?
Right.
So, and so maybe that went down for you.
I don't think that was how it was. I definitely, I feel what you're saying for sure. And
I definitely did that.
Okay, and I've
Yeah.
seen it.
So maybe
I could be wrong. Look,
Yeah.
I could misremember. It's been 8 years. You know what I mean? And it's I was a different guy than I am now. So I might be seeing it through the lens of where I am now.
Yeah.
But I do believe what went down was, I think it triggered something in the senior trainer because I think what it really should have happened is he should have charged more because he was worth more because he had more experience. And I think that it was just like, this is at a time where kind of pricing was in flux for personal trainers in a downtown area like St. Pete. And so I think that it was like, for a training session, I was kind of like at the new normal, but I think they were almost in the industry so long that they were used to, does that make sense? Like they were used to what the standard was at the time, but I had seen what everybody else was doing because I was new. So I kind of had these newer eyes and I was seeing what was going on. And so I feel like my pricing wasn't really outlandish. His was just kind of low for his experience.
Sure.
So I feel like it was, but it was taken out on me in this like, instead of like, hey, what can we maybe learn or adopt in our sales process from this guy who's new and charging $75 an hour, and I've been doing it for 10 years and I'm charging $75. What can we adopt from that? It was like, you need to go down to $60 an hour or you're not going to train here. I don't know. I just feel like the approach. So then maybe my ego got involved at that point, and then maybe I also felt like unsupported or something like that. But yeah, I could totally see the other end where I maybe was like coming across a situation where I'm just like, I'm worth 75. I'm worth 75. You know what I mean? I can see that too. Where they're like, dude, you're a kid. Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Like, we gave you an opportunity.
Hey, dude. Yeah, because how long did you work there for again?
I was there for, I think I was at the front desk, and I went front desk, then I started teaching classes, then I got my personal training, then I started personal training. So it was like, I think it was over a year and a half that I was there.
Sure. But
so
this guy, 10 years, year and a half.
Well, he was 10 years overall trainer. Sure. I was at this one location a year and a half. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Sure, but I'm saying, like, him and GM, who I don't know how long he's a GM, but I imagine for
he was
more
there
than
for
a
a
year
while.
and a half. Right.
For sure.
So you have these dudes, right, that are like, listen to this young stud coming up, hungry.
I was super hungry.
Yeah, hungry.
I was watching YouTube. I was
passionate.
I was, dude. I was studying like a dog.
Well, plus, and I think,
and I was also studying him. I mean, I would ask him anytime he was free.
Yeah,
hey,
you're
can
hungry.
I watch the train? Can I see what you're doing? Can I learn about kettlebells? Can you do it? You know what I mean?
And that's threatening to a lot of that kind of giddy up and drive and fuck you is super threatening.
Yeah,
to a lot of people.
Yeah, and I've talked to both these guys since. Like, I'm cool with both of them.
Yeah,
literally the guy,
I'm sure, yeah.
Which is awesome. I think that's the cool thing about maturing. Like, one of the guys, I literally was just messaging him. His lady's pregnant. Like, they're about to have their first kid. And I mean, like, there are so many positive things to say about both those guys that I really admire and look up to that it was, like, worth me going back years later.
Sure.
And just saying, like, hey, can we be on a good page?
Can we squash? Yeah,
can we squash that? Because, like, we're adults now. Like, I'm an adult now.
Yeah.
I was pretty much still, like, a teenager in my brain, I think, then, too, on some level. So...
and they were just like, they didn't bring it up like, well, yeah, but you were. They were just like, yeah, cool, whatever.
I think like the one guy, I don't remember. I think it like happened in like little reaching out here and there over like years.
Yeah.
And then there was like over the last couple years, I've noticed there's been like a complete shift. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, even the one guy the other day, he reached out and was like, hey, like I saw you doing push-ups from your wrists. Like, is one of them bothering you? And then he was like super helpful with like giving me some tips on how to strengthen my wrists, like just super awesome.
Right.
And then the other guy is doing like some really cool stuff with content. He's got this whole like mindful content creation thing that he does.
Right on.
And so I reached out to him and he gave me a free like analysis of all my stuff and just super awesome. So yeah, gave me a ton of good nuggets to take away. So
right on.
Yeah.
All right. So no bad blood.
No bad blood.
Cool.
None at all.
That's great.
Just lessons learned, I think,
good.
all around. I think there was lessons on their end too. I think I would imagine. We never really sat down and talked about it, but I would imagine on their end, there's probably a lot they took from that situation.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, we hope so.
Right.
I think that it would make sense to me that you were super passionate about being a trainer because you were.
That's exactly
you
right.
were thick.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And you had come out of that.
Yeah.
So I think there's something there.
Oh, 100%
about it.
dude.
So what was your secret? How did you lose all
Just
that weight?
ran constantly.
You were just running
nonstop.
So it didn't matter what you were putting. Did you change
No,
what you were
dude,
eating?
not. I mean, kind of like all of it was kind of happening over time. But I thought like at the time that what I was doing was healthy. But then I look back and I'm like, obviously, it really wasn't that healthy. But it was better than what I was doing because I used to be. So I was also like from 12 to 17, just like an avid gamer, and everything else that you would do on your computer as a teenager. So that's constantly pretty much what I was doing. It was back and forth. It was video games, computer. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean. Everybody knows what I mean. I don't need to go too much further.
No, what do you mean? I don't get it.
Right.
No, I'll just go get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that breaks my heart. With that, we'll get there.
Yeah, it was basically my life, and yeah, of course, in the moment it was enjoyable in those moments, but like then it was just like filled with depression around it because it was just super uncomfortable talking to girls and just like my life was, I was like a shell of like a human, you know what I mean? Because I was just like constantly
just existing.
just existing, dude. And just not happy.
Right.
Not happy with myself, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, that was pretty much it. I used to eat like I'd probably like 2 pieces of pizza and a full Philly cheesesteak sub. Like that was like, I was eating that much at like 12
In a
or
sitting?
like 11. Oh yeah. And I'd be taking it upstairs. They'd be like, the food's here for dinner. I'd grab it, run downstairs, grab it, go right upstairs. I'd be playing like Gears of War on Xbox, or I'd be playing like Halo or like Call of Duty Modern Warfare. I mean, it was just like, and I was on this website Game Battles at the time. Like I was super into gaming. I was like really deep in the trend. Any gamers will know.
Sure.
Any old school gamers.
Yeah, sure. You play games now?
Not as much. I would love to, but like anytime I've gotten an Xbox, it's like just leads to like high levels of cortisol.
Sure.
And I just absolutely go nuts. Like
Yeah.
I'll wake everybody up because I'm just like screaming.
Yeah.
Because I'm not anywhere near as like decent as I used to be. So
Yeah.
I just like get destroyed constantly
Super
when I play
bad.
video
Yeah.
games. It's just bad.
So me and my brothers play. I literally a month and a half ago bought a PS5.
Oh, awesome.
I used to have an Xbox One for years. I got it off some kid when I was living in Gulfport.
Yep.
This was like way pre-kid, so this had to be like 8 or 9 years ago. Pam and I, my wife, we were my girlfriend at the time. She was working at Sarasota Memorial Hospital.
Okay.
And I was working in Clearwater, and so we moved into like a little house in Gulfport.
Yeah,
It was
I love
kind of
Gulfport.
halfway.
Yeah,
It's
nice.
cool.
Yeah, it's a cool little
little
spot.
area.
Yeah.
And I found this dude. You know that app OfferUp?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a
So
classic.
this like I'm sure this kid was trying to buy like a new Xbox or something. So he sold me his Xbox One for like stupid cheap. I was like, I met him in like a Walmart parking lot. I was like, dude, does this thing even work? He's like,
Right.
it works. I was like, all right, I'm taking a risk. It totally worked.
Nice.
And that started me up on this is my pattern, and my wife knows this about me. Is that like I go super fucking hard, and I go, okay, I'm over it,
Yep.
and
Yeah,
it'll just like dust.
For sure.
So when we were in Gulfport, went fucking hard. My wife was like, she wasn't pregnant yet. She was working night shift, and so she would leave. I would just be kind of getting home from work, and same thing. I would like order a Philly cheesesteak, just fucking, or I'd make some food, and just play. There was this game Friday the 13th. You ever play that game?
No. Is that really a Jason game?
Yes,
What?
dude, it was so
Interesting.
sick. So my brother Jordan was like, "Oh, dude, download this game." Friday the 13th, and essentially what it was is Jason was an NPC,
Okay.
and you're all campers, and the goal is to get the fuck out of the
Sounds
camp.
actually really fun.
No,
bro.
it was dope, dude.
Is it scary at all? Like, are
Oh,
you like,
yeah.
oh, that sounds kind of
yeah.
awesome. That
So
sounds
then
sweet.
so you had to solve like a puzzle. So you had to like find the battery to the car and the keys to the car, and then you can get in the
Wow.
car and drive away.
Nice.
And then like there was another way, or you could try to kill Jason if you all like
Oh, wow.
chained up. But like people like every man for it was super.
Now wait,
super
do you
duper fun.
play with other people online?
Yes.
Oh, that's
it was
awesome.
so sick.
That sounds
so now.
wild,
So it's
dude.
gone now, and I guess now they turned it into like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it's
Okay.
like the same kind of premise.
Sure.
Haven't played it, but anyways, I went so hard on that shit, and then it was like didn't play it for years.
Yeah.
Okay. And I literally mean for like years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like last year, about this time last year, my brother goes, older brother, not younger, says, "Hey, download Fortnite." And I was like, "Ew, the kids game?" He's like, "Dude, download Fortnite." I was like, "Okay." So download it, bro. It is the best, it's the shittiest best game I've ever played. And now I play it with my brothers.
Oh,
and we
really
all,
cool.
Yeah, we
That's
all log
awesome.
in, and it's just like,
See, like I would
it's
totally
super
get
fun.
back into video games for that component. I miss that. All my cousins
Yeah.
and my brother, we all used to play together. That was like the big draw, I think, to it. It was
Yeah.
like there was that camaraderie, that community.
It's like
that
the
family.
Dungeons and Dragons
Exactly.
thing. It's just like
Yeah,
a thing
exactly.
you do. Now it's different, and so now I bought
I
a
actually
PS5.
love that idea. Actually, now I'm thinking about
I
that.
went super hard. I'm going super hard, and I
Yeah.
can tell it's irritating my wife. Now I'm not. I'm not. At least I don't think I. I don't think I'm like ignoring any duties as a dad,
Right.
husband, father, right, house
Sure.
owner, right, employee, owner, business owner.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like I'm doing all my shit, and then
Yeah.
I'm sure my wife might have feelings. But like
yeah.
dishes are done, kids are in bed, and my wife, she still works, she's a nurse practitioner, so she's up early. So
Yeah.
like everybody's in bed by 10-ish, kids are usually in bed by 8-ish. And then it's like, yeah, I'll game until midnight with my brothers. And that's what I love about it is that like we have our own text thread. It's like, hey, who wants to shoot?
For sure.
Who wants to do some murder?
Yeah. Right.
And you play, we only play with our crew.
That's awesome.
But you play, have you ever played it?
I played it once.
Fortnite?
Like once or twice.
Dude, it's so
I've never played it long enough to get good at it.
frustrating. Oh, no, we're all trash at this game.
But it was fun when I did play. Like the whole
fun.
premise is super cool.
Dude, so you should download it and you should text Joey and say, yo.
Does he play?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's me, Joey, Jordan,
Okay,
and my
nice.
buddy Todd that helped me build
What,
this.
PS5?
So they're on PS5. But dude, when I first started playing, I was playing on Xbox.
You can play all together? That's
dude,
cool.
you can play, if you have a Switch, you can play on
That's
Switch.
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I remember
super
I always
fun.
have like hope back in the day that they would do that.
Yeah.
That's cool that that's a real thing
It's
right
super,
now.
and so even some people play like PC, and you can always tell who those fucking kids are
because they're like killing it.
crush.
Yeah, they just absolutely
Dude, it's like not
dominate.
even fair.
Yeah, I've heard
right?
they've got like things in there like literal mouses built for Fortnite and stuff.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it. Yeah,
pretty
because
wild.
like these kids, it's like you don't stand a chance. So we're like, I won't say we're complete trash, but we're definitely like, my nickname sometimes for myself is like, oh, garbage man's here because I'm just trash, just total trash. But it's fun.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
It's fun. And at 43, it's like, again, I'm not,
You're not going out to the bar.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not out in the bar.
Right.
Right. Number one. Number two is that like
Also
going
hang out
back
with your
to,
bros.
I'm like, I'll go super hard.
Right.
Right. I just bought the PS5, like I said, a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
I'll go hard. I won't play. And then everybody will just ghost town.
For sure.
Even my brothers, it'll be like,
Yeah.
like probably after Christmas. We'll go hard till December.
Yeah.
And everybody will move
Well,
on.
it's that time of year too.
Yeah.
To a degree, I feel like this is that time of year where you slow down sometimes a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you just start to slow down a little bit more and enjoy some of that stuff, like the family time and stuff, a little bit more.
Yeah.
This time of year,
Yeah. Sure.
November, December.
I know. I can't believe it. It's almost the end of the year,
it's
man.
weird.
It's the end of the year.
This year flew by. It's flying by.
It did. When you have kids, dude.
Yeah, it is. Time
like-
just flies by.
So, I mean, it's awesome and it sucks.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, I just feel like my kid was just a baby. Now he's going to be 8.
Yeah, dude, that's
And
nuts.
I feel like my little girl was just a baby. Now she's going to be 5 literally in like 2 weeks. Going to
Wow.
be 5, 14 days. That's 2 weeks. I want to turn it back though.
Yeah.
So at some point, so Jim, hey, I want more money. No, you can't. You went to California. You drove across with your bro.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got back into real estate.
Yep.
You started saying, hey, shit, this is a skill
Yeah,
set
I
I
was
have.
like bar backing,
Yeah.
and had a couple clients outside the gym that I was working with.
Sure.
Of course, there was a split at the gym too. So like these clients I had on my own, I was making more money because I was all to myself as opposed to
You didn't have to pay
the
out.
split.
Yeah,
Exactly.
sure.
But I mean, it was only a couple, so it wasn't anything major. But the bar backing is how I was surviving at the time. Lived in a little apartment on Mirror Lake, downtown St. Pete.
Yeah, I know where it
And yeah, I loved it. I loved my
Cool
little
area.
fun little lifestyle. Had a bike.
Dude, St.
I rode
Pete
my
used to
bike
be so
everywhere.
dope.
It was great.
I
dude.
don't love it that much anymore, man.
Really?
I feel like a
It's
stranger when I
definitely-
go back down there now.
Yeah,
I'm
I feel
this
I
ain't
feel like
my
a
town.
stranger too. Actually, you know what? I do, but I still love going there. I feel like I still
No, it's a sick town.
Yeah, I still feel like I run into like good people.
Yeah.
Often.
Yes,
which is
I've been out of it
what
for so. I've gone North Pinellas for so long now that it's like
Yeah.
it's not my city anymore.
Yeah, for
And then
sure.
I don't play music anymore, so then like all
Oh, yeah,
those
for sure,
relationships
definitely.
and contacts are I don't want to say are gone, but they're like they're not there.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like when Pam and I go out for like date night or if like you meet somebody out there for drinks, it's like where do we even go? Like all these bars are like either
Right. You
super
probably love
bougie.
the Benz. You probably love the
No,
Benz.
Benz is cool. I've been there before. Yeah, I was there.
worked
when
security
we
there
lived down
for a little bit of time.
Oh, really?
I don't know why I was a security. I'm not a security guy.
Well, you're fit.
Yeah, I guess.
I think
I always
that
thought you had to be like 6'8" and like look like Shaquille
no,
O'Neal.
dude.
You know what I mean?
MMA. You know what MMA did?
Oh,
Was
that's
like
true. Yeah, you're right. They leveled the
anybody
playing field
could
to a
be
degree.
fucking dangerous.
That's
now,
true.
right? Doesn't matter how
just
tall
gotta-
you are.
you guys gotta, like,
you're right. You used to want to be
think you're-
like, but you got like, dude, put your hands up like this. So that
got
shit's
small hands.
No, the tattoos are intimidating.
Oh, the tattoos. Yeah,
100%.
That's true. It might be the tattoos.
Yeah. Plus, like, what's your ethnicity?
Like Mexicans and black, Italian, Polish, Russian.
Okay, so yes,
Little
but
bit
dude,
of
you got like an ethnic about you, which again,
Yeah.
like as a white
Right.
white dude, I'm like, oh, that dude,
He might
that
have a
dude's
knife.
got a knife.
He might have a knife. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so I think the hand tattoos,
Yeah.
you know, you're dangerous enough to where it's like, I'm not gonna fuck with that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
That's good.
Whereas if like,
probably a good
I have
perception.
no business bouncing anybody, but get out of here,
Right.
boomer, with your gray ass hair, like fuck off. But yeah, okay. So you get back into real estate.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
And so when did that start going well? Like, how long does it take when you get into real estate, like until you start? Like, I don't even
for
know.
me personally,
how do you
it was
get into
like,
it? Like, how do you start selling shit and
yeah,
making
so
money?
like
And
the whole layout first is like you get your license through the state. You got to do all these like tests and such, right? And it's not super difficult. The barrier to entry is actually rather low, I would say, overall. And then you hang it with a brokerage. Then once you're with the brokerage, then you kind of go about building your business. So the brokerage that I was with at the time that I first started was 100% commission brokerage, which means there's no split. Like but that also means usually there's less support. So I probably should have went to a brokerage that had more support.
Sure.
So I was kind of doing my own thing, which is really just me going out networking. Anywhere I went, I tried to just talk about real estate, let people know I was in real estate, kind of organically.
Where would you find the listings?
All downtown. I would just go around and,
Oh, you
I
were
would just
like
talk to people.
Really?
I would just give my card out if I was out dinner or drinks or whatever, or at the bar. When I worked at the bar, I would just, people from the gym.
Yeah, but there's like 1,000 other people doing the same thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Every chick I've ever known.
100%.
They're all like,
real estate.
I real estate.
I didn't see a ton of success at first. You know what I mean? It took me time, but I feel like what I ended up happening was I think I was like looking around on job postings for another brokerage. And then I found this brokerage that was like, we provide leads. And I was like, that's what I need. Because whatever I've been doing,
this cold calling shit's not working.
Well, I wasn't even doing cold calling, which I should have been.
Yeah,
I wasn't doing that because
cold whatever. What would you
just
call it?
Just like cold approach, I guess.
Yeah, it's cold.
Just like going up and telling random people that I do real estate.
But, hey, you have a house? Yeah. Do you want to sell it? No.
Right.
All right. How about you?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's based long and short of it. By the end of a 15-minute conversation, I finally got there, and that was But it's part of the game, dude. You know what I mean? I think that you got to go through those things to learn communication and everything else that comes along with it. Exactly.
Tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also just whether genuinely you can help anybody or not, because there's sometimes you just literally can't, and that's cool. That's okay. But they might know somebody. If you're just genuine, they might know somebody, and they might be like, "Hey, this is a good guy for you to connect with. He does real estate. Seems like a good guy.
Holler at David."
Exactly. So, ended up going to this brokerage that offered leads, and that was really where I built my business. It's because she was paying for leads. It was like a 50-50 split on those leads, but that was really where I was getting just hands-on experience working with buyers and sellers way more frequently.
Learning the trade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so for, I think, 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years, I was with her there.
Nice. And making money.
Making money. Yeah. Making good money. Yeah.
Sweet.
I was happy. 6 figures.
Yeah.
I was happy.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then?
What's that?
And then what happened?
And then, yeah, right.
And then?
Right. So then I was there, and then I'm trying to think of like how the timeline of events went. Something started happening at the brokerage that didn't align. Kind of that alignment thing came back, and there was a situation that happened where I didn't feel like the broker took into perspective like the totality of the time that I'd been with her and all of the things that had been done with her, and she made a decision to I think. It was a very nuanced gray area situation, but she chose to take her own self-benefit out of it as opposed to being like, I believe you, I trust you, we've been working together for 4 or 5 years. And it left a sour taste in my mouth, and I was like, I just can't stay here after how you handled that.
Yeah.
And it was minuscule. It was over like $3,500. But to me, it was the principle of like, okay, wow, you're really willing to, do that.
Yeah, just firebomb this fucking relationship or whatever.
Exactly.
Just over,
So that kind of put a sour taste. So I went back to this 100% commission brokerage. And there's some more stuff there with that broker. Like I had a deal under contract, and when I was at the office and told her I was going to be leaving because I wanted to do it face to face, the deal I had under contract, she was like, "Oh yeah, like I'll make sure that you're taken care of on that." Long story short, there was like a $25,000 commission that was supposed to close in like a couple months. That came around, she just kept that, like totally like made me have to go through like a lawyer and stuff to like. Dude. So I was just like lost a lot of respect for that whole situation, but.
Yeah. Is that common? That kind of stuff?
I don't know. It happened to me. I don't know if it's common. It happened to me, and
well, I guess like our real estate
brokers.
Yeah, well, maybe brokers, but like, is the industry at all, or et al? I think is how you say that. Is it dodgy? Like you mentioned, there are some bad actors. There's some people that are shady.
So. I don't think so, honestly. Most of the people that maybe it's just where I work now and like where I worked then. I feel like everybody was genuinely just trying to show up and help people and do the work. You know what I mean? Just like do the work.
But why not just sell the house yourself?
It's not a good idea. Yeah. I mean, it's just like from the paperwork to like, I don't know. For me, like I really don't. I like feel like it's such a no-brainer. Like if I even owned a house outside of where I live in a different state, I would 100% use a realtor. And I think it's just because mainly just the paperwork, navigating buyers. It's like, it's definitely, you got to know what you're doing. You know what I mean? You got to know what you're looking for. You got to know how to hold people accountable to their timelines.
Sure.
And you got to know when like somebody's just not qualified. And like, I think some people just don't know what to look for because everybody can talk a good game, but it's like, do you know what
numbers don't
paperwork
lie.
to look for? And some people do.
Yeah.
And like me now being an agent for 10 years, I do. So it's like, I could maybe sell my house on my own, but it's also like, are you going to get all the proper paperwork? And do you know how to run the whole process and make it work smoothly?
Sure.
And then also know like what the recourse is if they don't, you know what I mean? And how to make sure that you know that you're taken care of if that doesn't.
Got it.
So
yeah, so it's not as easy. It's not like selling a car on Craigslist.
No.
Yeah, way more complicated.
Yeah,
Infinite. It's not like buying an Xbox on offer up at the Walmart parking lot. Sounds complicated.
Way more complex.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that if you technically, in a market like this, you need marketing. You need somebody that's really going to help you like navigate. And a lot of people also, it's just like they think they have the time to sell their own house, but they really don't.
No.
You know, like they start the process and then they realize like this is actually a lot more.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah, that's a lot more intense.
There should be a whole career surrounded around this.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. My wife and I have a house in Palm Harbor. Mm-hmm. We bought it in 2017.
Nice. That's a great time to buy.
It was
great.
Very nice.
I'm happy to hear that. I love hearing that.
We're outgrowing this house. It's a 3-2.
Yeah.
There are 4 of us. All right. My kids at present share a room, bunk beds, but like, again, 7 and 4, soon to be 5, boy, girl.
Yeah.
It was cool. It's not cool anymore.
Right.
So like next year, 2026,
cool.
we were exploring either keeping the house and renting it and buying another house. Talking to my brother, though, who has the Dunedin house, they don't make a lot of money today. Yeah. It's generational.
Exactly.
Like once it's paid off,
that's it.
Then it's this really sick, awesome generational thing that maybe my children will be the beneficiaries of. But for my wife and I today, or in the next 10 to 12 years,
maybe it just depends. I mean, you got a mortgage in 2017. I don't know. I mean, you got a house at a probably decent price.
Yeah, and we refied when we refied, and we didn't pull any money out.
Oh, nice.
So we're at like
and you refied at like a low. Oh,
yeah, it's like 2 something.
Yeah,
and we didn't do like we're equity rich, but I'm seeing like prices are.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're gonna hit.
Then the value of my house is going.
Right.
So if we were gonna sell,
you'd want to wait.
We want to wait.
I think.
Yeah.
My perspective would be if you see that the market's going down. From my perspective, you never want to chase a down market if you don't have to sell. Right. If you have to sell or like you really just need to make moves, then it's different. If you need to use the equity in your home to put it as a down payment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Way different situations. But as I look at it, it'd be like, okay, I don't know where this bottom's going to be unless you just totally had no faith in the market. I believe it's going to rebound. Rates are starting to trend in a downward, we're looking pretty good. We're coming out of hurricane season here locally, which, this area kind of is coming off of that. I call it hurricane hangover. Like we're coming out of it.
Yeah.
So once that's also gone, more people are going to come back in the market, I think, as rates come down. I think January 1, the market will stabilize. And then I think we'll start to see it level off for the first 6 months. And then I think we might see it go back up a little bit. Yeah. And then it'll be a normal market for a few years. I think just regular old 2 to 5% appreciation, which is good.
Right.
Like, which is comfortable. We're all like, everybody's happy.
Everybody's good here.
Yeah, everybody's like, nobody's
winning.
scared. And like, everybody's just like, okay, we're good. So I would wait until I would rent it out for a couple years.
Yeah.
Wait till the value starts going back up. And then take advantage of that equity that you got while you're also getting cash flow in the meantime. That's what I would do if I were in your shoes.
Sure.
But then you have a tenant, and you also have tenant responsibilities.
Yeah, but just pay a company to manage that shit.
Could do that, yeah.
Yeah, I think my brother does. Like, why fuck with it? It's 10%.
Right.
So take 10% of whatever.
Yeah, if you got the cash flow there to do it, you might as well.
Yeah,
and just not have a headache. But I will say,
because our mortgage is nothing. We pay it twice a month. We pay the whole thing. So half and half, but in a month.
Okay, cool.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
and it's supposed to shave like 5-ish years or something.
Yeah,
7
dude, nice.
years.
So you're paying like an extra payment a year?
Yeah, ish is what it works out to or something. And again, my wife's the actual grown up in my relationship, so she'd be able to give you the
because it goes
specifics.
just to the principal. I don't know if you like, so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, instead of all the interest that's actually charged, like the interest rates, they make it look pretty with these low numbers, but it's still a ton of interest, and it's all paid on the front end. So that's why sometimes when you refinance, you're actually kind of sometimes doing yourself a disservice because you're front loading all that interest again. So like your payment breakdown over time eventually gets to where you're paying predominantly your principal balance. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
As opposed to interest. But in the beginning of a loan, like the first, I think 7 years, like you're paying like 90% of that payment every month is going to interest only.
Yeah.
It's not going to the actual principal balance.
Yeah.
So that's something that a lot of people don't really know.
Right.
So that's where when you're going to refinance in the future for anybody listening, it's like you want to just factor in that as well into the equation.
Yeah.
Are you resetting that interest?
Sure.
That axis?
Is that a good idea? Not a good idea? Consider
that's
those
everybody's
options.
own situation.
Yeah. So let me ask you this question, if you don't mind, some of that free advice. Okay, so the situation we're in, my wife's a nurse practitioner.
Yep.
She does okay.
Yeah.
I own my own business, but this Vilardi Digital, not the podcast, but like the agency.
Yep.
Has been a business for 3 years, but my full-time gig for a little over 1 year.
Okay.
Right? My question, I guess, is that does it make sense to keep that house rented, buy a new one, but we need to leverage that house? Like we have some savings.
Yeah. See, no, that's where you'd have to do a detailed financial analysis.
Yeah.
It wouldn't it'd be hard to give you just like blanket advice without seeing the numbers.
Sure. Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Because if you could make $2,500 a month because your mortgage is $1,500, but you could rent it for $4,200. I mean, to me that makes sense to me because then it's like but it also depends on what that cash out refi payment is. Right. So it's like if you take $150 out of it in equity to put down on the next house, what is that $150 going to cost you per month?
Right.
If it's only $700, $800 a month, you're still making, what is it, like $1,800?
Sure.
To me, worth it. Cash flow, $1,800. I mean, why not?
Right.
That's how I look at it. But also, you're not chasing a down market you're also like, then you're waiting for the market to go back up. But that's if you have the faith in the market, which I do personally. Yeah. Here locally, especially Palm Harbor. I mean, I feel like these areas around here, a little bit North County, like they're just getting better and better.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And I think we would stay like East Lake, like try to like right now we're Palm Harbor, like Curlew and US 19.
Cool. So you're right by Jay kind of then,
Yeah, super
That's
close.
awesome. Yeah.
He went like, he's in Snobs, near Snobs Landing.
Okay.
And I don't want to be up there.
Yeah.
I want to be like kind of McMullen, Booth, East Lake.
Yeah, for sure.
I would like to have some woods.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
A little bit of property would be sick.
Yep.
But those houses right now are like 1.2, like they're big.
Yeah.
And obviously we're dreaming here. But
yeah.
I don't want a new build like all these houses in this area, all these new builds, man. And another brother of ours bought one of those new builds. He was the first poops in the house were his, right? Brand new house. A lot of our friends did the same thing. The houses are nice, man, but they're like sandwiched against the other fucking house.
Yeah.
I don't need all that. I want old good bones, and we'll just we'll refurb,
that.
dude. Yeah,
like
we'll
that
fix
character. That I feel you.
The house has been there. Like our house was 82. Is the house we're in right now?
Cool.
If we got a 90s house, I'm like, that's awesome. I'd do it. I want to go back to something else too. Okay, so real estate, doing that. You have this idea. For a type of gym that's different.
Yeah, so
or
it's
a wellness center.
Yeah,
so a wellness center that's different. So talk to me. So where does that idea come from?
Totally. So I'm in real estate, and I get this thing in the mail about this place called Vitality Wellness Center, which shout out to them. I do still love that facility. I go there, and essentially I get this flyer, and it's like cryotherapy, all these different services that I'm like, oh, this looks really cool. Like, and it's like, come in, try anything you want for $1. And I was like, oh, sweet, I'm going there. And like, why not? Like,
is that on US 19?
No, but there is
Wellness Center.
There's one on 4th Street in near downtown St. Pete, and there's one over off of Park Street North in St. Pete. So they've got 2 locations.
Okay.
But there's a few different Vitality Wellness Centers around Pinellas County because it's common name. But so long story short, I go there, end up realizing that one of the guys that I knew from the kind of community in St. Pete was kind of like the manager there, and so at the time I was dealing with a bunch of post-COVID. Just like random stuff. Like I'd get this metallic taste every night. My kidneys were aching. I was just dealing with a bunch of random stuff. Like my taste and smell was still not fully back. I had COVID like 3 times, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, a whole lot of post-COVID.
A bunch of stuff, dude. It was rough. So I went there, and they were like, dude, you should try PEMF therapy, which is called pulsed electromagnetic field therapy, which uses like this magnetic. They have this like called Pulse XL bed, and basically you lay on it, and essentially it goes to the areas in your body, the cells that need that activation, that kind of that energetic rejuvenation. And so I laid on this mat, and then they have a halo therapy room at their Park Street location, and which is like a salt air, and you kind of ingest it, and it's supposed to get in and kind of like cleanse you out and like clean you. And dude, those two things I did back to back for 3 days. And after 3 days of doing those things, dude, like my kidney pain went away, my metallic taste went away, my taste and smell came back completely. And so I was just like, whoa.
Really?
Dude, I was mind blown. I was
That's
like,
crazy.
This is the future. I was like, this is like, I need to make this my life.
Sure.
So like, that's basically like that planted a seed. And I also started going there all the time. And I started going there so much, and I was like I'm like very aware of like what's going on around me. So I was just like paying attention to their sales process and their staff, and like, so I ended up just seeing all these things that could be improved. And so I basically went to the owners at the time, and I was like, hey, like I think I can help you guys in your sales process, because I see so many people come in and they don't leave with a membership, or they're not given like a great tour. And it's just like, I think
like
that
the
you
customer
guys,
experience is kind of jacked up
exactly.
a bit. Yeah, for sure.
And so I was like, I think I can really help you guys improve that, and I'm willing to just do it for free, just to help out, because I like really want to see you guys win, and I want to see this facility get more people in here that stay in here.
Right.
And so I worked on that, like put together, I don't know if you know what Loom is, but like I put together some Loom videos of like what the staff could do to like do a better walkthrough. I went in there, recorded like just different videos on like how the flow of it could be, and like how you could bring up memberships at the end, and try to add a bunch of
like
value.
a consultant.
Basically,
you did some consulting for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so
it's great, dude.
yeah, it was awesome, and it gave me a lot of experience too, you know?
Yeah.
But like,
Because
basically...
now your brain's thinking like, oh shit, okay, what is it like?
Yes.
Yeah, go, I'm sorry, continue.
No,
This
dude,
is super
of
cool.
course.
Loom, you said?
Yeah, Loom. It's like basically, Loom is a thing where you like basically, it records your screen, but you also have like a little bubble
Understood.
where you're like
Yep.
on this.
No,
So
I
like
got it.
I was like recording videos, like while I was showing them back end stuff as well. Like, hey, here's these people.
Yeah,
in
it was like
the
a tutorial
database.
video.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
So back to the facility though. I'm there and I'm doing this stuff, and I forget what's going on, but like one of the guys that was working there, it essentially just like, it wasn't going how they wanted it, like a lot of false promises, like just kind of like wasn't really reliable. So I was like, hey, why don't you guys just make me the manager? Like I love this, like I love this place, I love this stuff, like I want to make this great. And I was like, I really felt like I had an idea for marketing that was going to get through guerrilla and digital marketing to like help get them people in the door and like start getting new members in like a lot more. Yeah. And this is when they only had one location. But essentially went down that route of getting in behind the scenes, and then I was just like, dude, the business is not set up properly. Like there's no foundation to build on.
Yeah.
So I was in the position, and I had kind of promised all these things, but then I was in the position and I was like, we really need to focus on the foundation of this business first. Otherwise it's just going to crack.
The bones are cracked.
Yeah, exactly. We need to like seal up the foundation so we can build
healthy bones.
Exactly. Yeah. So there was no real healthy bones.
And they weren't.
And they like, well, what happened was I was working on these things, getting the infrastructure in place to scale. Mm-hmm. But through that like couple months of me doing that, by the end of working because I was like, I'm gonna do this for free for 2 months, show you guys what I can do, show you guys what the value is that I'm bringing. And I wanted, instead of just being, because like, I come from real estate, like I was doing well, and I, was like giving up my time in that to like work 30, 40 hours a week, investing in like trying to bring this facility to like crush it. My whole vision was like, hey, I want to open 100 of these. Like I want to open 100 of these. And so I was all in on the idea. Essentially, it basically just came around to, I wanted an equity agreement because I didn't want to just work for an hourly wage. Like I feel like I was just kind of past that in my life of like, I wanted to just be invested in something. I wanted to be part of something that I was going to help grow and like give my spirit to, And so we couldn't come to terms. And so I had to like, make the tough decision. This was after I helped them get a commercial lease on a second space right off 4th Street. And, we had to come to the tough decision to just walk. Yeah. And so I was
when I get back from California, I'm going to have an equity agreement. They're like,
yeah, exactly.
Shit, not this again.
Right. So they basically
this feels familiar.
Yeah. So they were like, but it was all love. You know what I mean? Like I understood their position with business, like, hey, we put $500,000 in each of the facilities. Like we can't And I think what it was like they were focused on what they were giving up, but not as to like my metrics were on, hey, once we hit certain amount of members, then I want to
benchmarks.
invest in
He was
interest.
like, listen, we hit this benchmark.
Exactly.
X, and benchmark. Yeah, it was phased out.
So maybe I didn't do a great job of like helping them understand that it's like you're not losing anything by if we get to these numbers, you're winning. Like we're making money. That's the only way I'm getting vested in this company is if I help you guys make enough money to where it makes sense. Right. So that maybe I didn't do a great job of communicating.
Well, no, maybe, but I think also too,
not.
brother, man. Like what I've,
and they were low percentages, dude. It was like 5. I think the max was like 10%.
Yeah, but you got to realize, dude, that like
when you're putting that hard cash up.
Yeah. Like when you and I'll take all this shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that when the note on all this stuff is on me,
sure,
for all the gear and the
yep,
to get for somebody to come in and say, hey, I want 5%, and like Shark Tanky, right? Hey, I want 5%. I'm going to inject this much, whatever, or I'm going to do this, or tit for tat, or whatever. These terms, at this. And you've put forward so much money. Our little brains sometimes don't understand the value of not the tangible.
Right. I get that for sure.
As a marketer, I totally get the value of what you're talking about. Like I get it. Forward thinking too, by the way, some people don't know how to see all the way to Z.
Right.
Some people are A, B, C.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
And so when people like you and I show up and we're like, no, dude, here's soup to nuts.
Yep.
All the way to Z, and there'll be 100 of these places.
Yeah.
They don't see, they don't have the faith that people like us have.
Sure.
Call them dreamers, right?
Yeah.
But the world runs on fucking dreamers.
100%.
Where do you think this fucking came from?
Right.
This is a dude's dream right here.
Facts.
And he was told no all the live long day. Nope. And he just still did it. And so I think that like, don't be hard on yourself that I could have done a better job. I think that's smart to always think like, shit, where did I go wrong, and better yourself, but don't kick yourself too much in the nuts.
Yeah.
Sometimes like, because I've done the same thing. I've done like client pitches before and been like, yo, dude, oh, cool. We're going to do this, and this. And people are like, shit, dude, I just want A and B, dude. Like I can't, I'm so afraid. That's the best way to say it. They're so afraid of that because I can't pay this bill or they just lack the vision.
Yeah, dude.
They lack the conviction and the vision and like the sacrifice, man. All this shit's hard, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
But you can't be afraid of it. And I think what I'm realizing about you in this conversation is that you're not afraid.
I don't feel like I am now.
No.
I mean, because I just feel like it's like, I guess I just believe that it's like.
You believe it's possible.
I believe everything's possible. Yeah, man. I think that's like back to like kind of what I was saying about my dad. I feel like he really instilled that in me growing up. He was just like always, I feel like it was like that pursuit of happiness scene where, he's like, don't let anybody tell you you cannot do anything you put your mind to. Like, I really feel like that was ingrained in me. Like, yeah, you can go do whatever you want.
Yeah, yes,
but
you can.
You gotta pay. You gotta be willing to pay the price for it.
Yeah,
and that came right after. It was like, but you gotta be willing to commit and pay the price.
You gotta fight for it.
Yeah, you gotta
earn it. You gotta fight for it.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's lost on not just your generation. I assume you're younger than me. That's
30,
lost
32.
Okay. Yeah. So with like 10 years difference. But that's lost on the next generations I'm terrified for. Yeah. Just like I'm sure my parents were terrified for our generation. Right. But it's like, yeah, man, you got to be willing. Like you said something earlier, like, yo, I'll do this for free for 2 months just to show you I'm nuts. That's almost non-existent in the generation below you and below them. They're like, fuck that. It's even lost on a lot of people in my generation.
Right.
Man. Where it's just like, well, what do I get? There's no more like, hey, let me show up and sweep your floors for a couple months just to be around the recording studio because I really want to learn how to be an engineer. Right. That's gone. Yeah. Like people don't do that. Yeah. And the disservice there to the world or to our country is that you don't have a lot of sacrifice. You don't have a lot of people volunteering to go into the military, for example. Sure. Or maybe we do. I don't know. I don't know what those numbers are. But I think that I
think you're right that that's trending down. I would imagine.
I would imagine too.
Feels like those campaigns have picked back up. So you kind of know, I feel like
when their numbers are down.
Yeah, you kind of like know.
Army strong.
Right.
Yeah, the dude from Gargoyles, the cartoon Gargoyles does the voice for it or whatever. You gotta be sacrifice, man.
Yeah.
You gotta sacrifice. Generations told, go to school, and when you get out of school, you're gonna be rich. No, you're not.
Yeah, for sure. You're just gonna be in debt.
You're gonna go to school and be in debt and still do what people like you and I did. Did you go to school, college?
I dropped out. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Didn't go.
Yep.
But you know what we did do? We went to college in life. We got master's degrees in life.
100%.
Experience.
Yeah, 100%.
And so these kids spend all this money, none of this experience. They still have to do all this.
Right.
But now they're $80,000 in debt, $120,000 in debt, or whatever that number is, depending on what school they went to, right?
Right.
And so I think that the moral is that cool. If you want to go to school, learning's brilliant.
Of course.
But in the age of YouTube and fucking
dude.
AI and
for sure.
dude, you want to learn something.
Yep.
You know, back in the day, it used to be like, you want to learn something, go to the library, you can read a book. There are books on everything. How to, woodworking, welding, whatever, you can learn it. And then it would have to be like physical on the job, but you could learn shit.
Right.
Now, dude, on YouTube, all this stuff, brother.
Oh, yeah.
YouTube, man.
For sure.
1,000%.
Yep.
Like, oh shit, how to camera settings? I want it to look like this. Oh, ChatGPT.
Right.
Oh, hit this button, press this, twist this.
Dude, for sure.
Dude, and look.
Yeah, this is legit setup too. It's so
Right.
epic.
Thank you, man.
Dude, it's
and
so-
again, I leverage friendships too, and like old
Which is cool.
colleagues and
100%.
stuff for sure. It wasn't all me, and it wasn't
Yeah.
all YouTube. But my point is that I can't call these dudes every night. Anytime something
Right,
breaks,
right.
I'm like.
Right. Yeah.
Watch a YouTube video on
Yep.
how to fucking run this mixer.
Yep.
Mixer's acting funky. Microphones are being weird. You know, like there's things that you have to, and I feel like that you have, what I'm hearing from you in all those stories, the early gym story, the real estate stories, and now even this wellness center story, is that you have a lot of that, man. So good for you, dude.
Thanks, brother.
Don't let.
Cheers, brother. Appreciate that.
Hey, people don't appreciate people like us. Cheers to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So continue after you take that sip.
Yeah. So.
So they didn't like the agreement.
Yeah, they didn't. I think they just
Didn't like the
weren't-
equity
They
agreement.
weren't seeing the vision.
Sure.
You know what I mean? They weren't seeing the vision. So I had already had some like big opportunities on the table, anyways, for real estate at the time. So this is when I just started getting into commercials about 2 years ago, and I switched brokerages to working with Ryan Serhant, who's a really big like TV famous broker from like $1 Million Listing New York, which is like a really popular TV show back in the day on Bravo TV, and then also on Netflix. Our brokerage has its own show. Season 2 is coming out in like a couple months, but once I started working there, I kind of like, so I was like, this is going to be a big transition. I knew that, it's going to be because this brokerage is very luxury focused and residential. And that was kind of what I was going for. Like, as I was at that brokerage where I was getting the paid leads, I had done some multi-million-dollar deals. It was kind of getting me like, oh, wow, like I'm actually working with people that, in my experience, were a little bit more like they were a little bit less attached actually, which was kind of interesting. Like, it felt like the process was pretty easy actually. And I was like, wow, you make more money and you're working in a higher price point, but it's like, it's not what I had thought it was. And so I think that like experience made me want to work more in that, try to get more into that space. Why not, And so I had reached out to that brokerage, Serhant, about joining them, and then finally kind of like broke through the wall of getting in because it was a real process. They made you really work to get in there.
Sure.
And got in there, and then like I made one of the things like, hey, I'll fly up to New York, but I want to do a video with Ryan as like a kind of introductory thing to like joining the brokerage. So I flew up, we shot this video. I sent it to all my sphere of like clients and such. And I got an email within a week from one of my clients who was like, hey, I've got this big assisted living facility in Tampa. I know you can sell it if you're working with Ryan. Or I know you guys can sell it. So I went up there, I got the listing. It was a $21 million assisted living facility, and it's still under contract to this day, but it's been like, I got that under contract, I think, signed the listing agreement June last year, 2024.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's been crazy. So it was under contract for like 4 months, then it fell out of contract, then it went back under contract, and now it's been under contract for like almost a year.
Is that the difference between commercial pays more, but it's a long game versus residential? You can probably how long's the average residential?
Probably anywhere from 2 weeks in Florida, because a lot of cash deals here. Anywhere from 2 weeks to maybe 3-4 months max. Usually,
Sure.
not longer than that. For
After that, it falls apart. It's
usually,
toast.
usually that's the max.
What's the biggest reason that deals crash or fall apart?
Financing for a buyer, or like cold feet, or just those are pretty much
Usually financing, though.
Usually financing. That's the main. Usually that's the main.
Yeah, but
reason.
how do you get that far in the process in financing?
I sometimes people like will lose a job somehow randomly throughout that process.
Or buy a car.
Dude. Yeah.
Fucking dumb.
Did you do that?
No.
Okay, I thought you were like.
No, I remember seeing somebody. I think it was a real estate person that was like doing some Instagrams or whatever. It was just like, hey, here's what not to do.
Yeah.
Don't go buy a car.
Yeah,
Cause
exactly.
so clearly it must
people
have happened.
People definitely do that.
Yeah, people are like, oh, cool, we sold the house. I'm gonna have this money.
Yes.
Boom. Nope.
Exactly.
Nope.
Yeah, because your DTI gets all thrown off.
Sure.
You got all this extra debt now. So.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. All right. So 4 months for residential, but commercial can take years.
Yeah, it can take a long time, dude, for sure. Well, you got to think like, especially some of these like really big land deals and such. I mean, you've got buyers that are, on the other end of this of like a Walmart and stuff, right? And it's like they don't really want to have money invested in something until they know 100% that they can go through with building what they want to build
and start recouping
and ideally,
some of that.
Exactly, dude. So they want to keep that money, that cost as low as possible, as long as possible. You know what I mean? So yeah, they can take forever. And like this deal in Tampa specifically is they're using tax exempt bonds, which is my first time where somebody's using that, and they're buying 7 other assisted livings all at once. So it's a $75 million bulk deal total that they're purchasing. And they're using tax exempt bonds, which is through the government. So it's like the government shut down right now. Like there's really not much they can do right now. But like over this whole time, I think what's been happening of why this process has taken so long, I think they're also waiting to a degree for the rates to come down a bit.
Right.
So they can lock in that 30-year government bond.
So there's kind of stonewalling it a little intentionally just to say, hey, let's wait.
I think so. Yeah.
As long as you can. And then you're on the other hand of this shit, like, yo, bro, this is like, I put over a year
exactly.
of
like
effort trying to get paid. Yeah. So am I don't want to be rude. Am I allowed to ask what your commission is on that?
Yeah, of course. I don't mind, dude. I don't mind. So I had it at 6% total, which would have went 3 to a buyer broker and a co-broke, but there is no buyer broker. So then it would have been 4%. But then I was talking with the seller, so how it kind of unfolded was it fell apart at first from the buyer that I brought. Their financing fell through. Something happened with the guy, I think, personally, and then he just kind of was like unavailable. They wanted to use a new lender, start over the process, but the seller was just kind of over giving them extensions. So I was like, I'm not doing that anymore.
Move on.
So he actually had his own buyer that he brought to the table, and so I was willing to come down on what we agreed to. So it went down to 2.5%, which on a $21 million deal, I mean, it's a ton of money still. You know what I mean? So it's still... It's going to be, if it goes through, huge blessing. It'd be fantastic. Yeah.
And then, so if you don't mind me asking again, how do taxes work on that as a real estate agent?
you can, as an agent, you can, from what I understand, have yourself as like an LLC.
Sure.
Or as like any sort of entity where you can classify as an S corp. As I understand it, I am definitely not versed in taxes. So
we're speculated.
Full speculation.
Talk to your. This is not legal advice. This is not tax advice.
100% not. Right. Yeah, not.
But
at all.
here's what we think.
Yes,
we'll put a disclaimer up.
Perfect.
This is not actual advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was told by a couple of financial advisor buddies and like tax advisors, like, hey, you need to make sure that you're ready for that. That check
giant influx of cash.
Yeah, like you need to make sure you have a plan.
Because the government's going to want to eat that ass out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bro, they're hungry.
Government's got to get
They're
paid.
coming.
Yeah.
So,
which is interesting because the government bond is
right, exactly.
and they're just like, oh, we're going to recoup. We're just get some of that cheddar cheese.
Straight
back.
up, dude.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah, I know. They're always getting something from.
So don't worry, don't audit me. I have an accountant. My accountant kicks ass. Anyway, so you make it. So when it goes through,
when it goes through,
when,
right? That's right.
It will.
Yeah. I like to believe that. So
you're gonna get some. You're gonna get. It'll be worth it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get paid.
You're gonna get that paid.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Get that cheddar cheese. So that'll be good. We need that.
So then, so the pros of that is you don't have to sell 20 a year. You can sell 3 a year.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, one of those a year would be. I mean,
that'd do it for you.
Yeah, I mean, that one deal a year would be great. I mean, but
this one's taken over a year.
Exactly. So I think that's the commercial game is what I'm starting to learn, and it's like I've even got another commercial lot on Passagrow, which I probably can't speak about too much because there's some some little stuff going on there. But
sure. You don't have to.
But it's a commercial vacant lot essentially that they're planning to develop. And I feel like even that is showing me just kind of, it's giving me a lot more perspective. And that's like basically a vacant lot. And so I'm seeing how commercial developers look at in their process for when they buy and how they like things to play out so that they're, again, least amount of cash out on something that's not going to make money till years down the line. You know what I mean? Because they have to build a structure there that's actually going to be worth something. Because as dirt, it makes no money.
Sure.
You know?
So let's go back a little bit to this government funding.
Yeah.
How I've seen these. I'm probably going to botch it, dude. You know, forgive me.
No, yeah.
FHA loans?
Yeah, FHA loan. Yeah.
Is that the land ones?
No, FHA loan is just a government-backed loan, as I understand it. And this is where, you know, like as an agent, I'm more property focused, and this is where like a lender would speak to like the different types of loan options for somebody. But as I understand, an FHA loan it's a 3.5% down loan where basically it allows you, and there's like caps on how much, like I believe in like Pinellas County, it's like up to like $536,000 home. Like you cannot, not more than that, can you do an FHA loan. It's supposed to be a program that allows you to get into a home for the least, like a lower amount of down.
It's a program for the average citizen.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
It's a path to get into home ownership.
That's exactly right. That's how I understand it.
Got it.
And essentially, like we used it for the house that we bought, and it basically.
I'm pretty sure we probably did too. Again, that's a Pam. That's an adult question,
right?
Better reserved for my wife.
I will say this: something that I learned recently, though, that's pretty cool, is that. So let's just say you have an FHA loan, you bought your house in 2017, like even when you refinance, I don't know, you might have refinanced out of it into like a conventional loan.
Sure.
But you might, so then you would have it just naturally to use again. You can only use one per like household.
Got it.
So, but there's a loophole kind of as well, which is that, because I bought my house FHA loan, I think in 2021, and I was talking to my lender and he's like, you know, there's a way that you can get another FHA loan while keeping the existing one on the property that you have, because I want to keep my property as a rental property and I'm going to convert the garage into an ADU.
Which is?
An accessory dwelling unit, which is basically an apartment in the back of your house. So you have
like a duplex or something.
Yeah, well, the duplex is 2 units side by side usually, or like over top.
The do part of it.
Yeah, but like a ADU is like it's
Why is it
usually
called a biplex?
I've never.
Bi is 2.
I've never heard of a biplex.
No, why isn't?
Oh,
why is it duplex? Like a triplex is 3.
Dude. Right. I have
quadplex. Do they call them quadplexes?
Yes, they do.
Oh, that's 4.
I've never heard of a
duplex.
It should be a biplex. It actually sounds way cooler.
Biplex.
I feel like there should be a gym built into it, and like
monoplex.
Like
that's
a pull-up
one.
bar on the side of it, like a biplex.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
What's that? Oh, it's a biplex. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so stupid, but that's great. I love it.
Yeah. I'll go full tard sometimes.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm sorry. So going back, so you want to turn that into, use an acronym. It's called
ADU.
ADU.
Yeah, accessory dwelling unit.
Got it.
And
so it's like a mother-in-law.
Exactly, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, just another. It's the
official
proper term. Yeah, exactly.
Official
it's the
terminology.
Official term.
You're so fancy.
Yeah.
All right. So you would turn that into, and so they could put a mother-in-law in there, or would you, as the landlord, one tenant? Totally different
two separate tenants, for sure. Unless for whatever reason they want both units. But yeah, it'd be 2 separate tenants. I'd fence it off, separate entrances, separate laundry. Everything.
How do you work out water, power,
It's already separate metered, and I would have it. Yep, it's already separately metered. Electric, water, I'd probably just pay myself, and then just have them pay a flat like
build
standard fee.
Build it into rent.
Exactly.
Yeah, smart.
Yep.
Smart.
So that's kind of what I'm looking at.
Yeah. On our house, so we have solar.
Cool.
And we're financing the solar,
well. Yep,
right?
Yep.
But my point is that like we were just like, hey, advertise it as like, dude, $0 electric bill. You have to pay the admin fee, right? Which Duke Energy raises every year, but it's still not $200. It's $36.
$35 a month or something.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, but you just bake that into rental costs.
Exactly.
And go shit in your hat, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Smart business. All right, so what I was thinking was USDA loans.
Okay.
Those are the land loans.
USDA loans, okay, yeah. I think they are land loans, but
of.
they're also, I think, for specific geographic areas. And you can even get single family homes on those, but I think those are 0% down.
Yeah, dude.
Which are like
and because they want you to develop in in up and coming areas, right?
Exactly.
So I wouldn't be surprised in Trinity if a bunch of people got
I could see. I think Pasco County. I could
yeah.
definitely see that.
I don't want to live in Pasco.
Yeah.
There's something sexy about Pinellas.
Yeah, there is.
What does it mean to? I live in unincorporated Palm Harbor. What the hell does that mean?
I'm not sure what unincorporated Palm Harbor means, but I know that like unincorporated Pinellas County means that you can like legally do short-term rentals and stuff. So I don't know if unincorporated Palm Harbor falls into that as well. It might. It'd be worth exploring for sure.
To live
So I think it means that you don't have to abide by the like city of Palm Harbor rules and regulations and like guidelines. That's what I think. So you might fall back into like the county regulations as opposed to whatever the city is. You know what I mean? Because like it's like I think it goes like city, then county, then state. You know what I mean? I think.
Yeah, so it says, you're right. It says living in an unincorporated city, or more accurately, unincorporated area, means that the place where you live is not part of any official city or town government. Mm-hmm. Instead, it falls under the direct jurisdiction of the county.
Yeah.
So governance, there's no city government.
Interesting. So that means I think you could Airbnb your house.
The county
legally.
provides law enforcement via the sheriff's office's zoning, code enforcement, and other public services. Fewer local ordinances. So there's fewer city-specific rules, things like noise, short-term rental restrictions, which is what you were just talking about. Mm-hmm. Business licensing might be more lenient or handled at the county level. Services, police and fire, usually provided by the county. Utilities rely on private wells, et cetera, which we don't. We're on city shit. Roads and maintenance, the county handles. Oh, that does make sense. So we don't have any sidewalks in my neighborhood.
Interesting.
Which sucks when you have fucking kids.
Yeah.
It also sucks when your neighborhood backs up to other neighborhoods and people cut through your neighborhood as like to get from like Tampa Road to Curlew.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
And people just rip down this fucking dude. It sucks. Mm-hmm. So I went to the city and was like, yo,
speed bumps.
Can we put a fucking speed bump up in this shit? You can put it right in front of my house.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. If it does the property value, I don't care.
Right.
It's unsafe. There's people walking dogs. My kids are out front. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
No, we can't. We don't do that anymore. You have to, and so I had to go. You have to get everybody fucking sign a thing, every neighborhood, and then they came back with, well, here's what we can do. We can put one of those like in front of schools where it just tells you how fast you're going. We can put one of those in front of your house on your property. And I was like, okay. Crickets. Never heard anything. Wow,
dang.
To be fair, I didn't follow up either.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
And that was like 6 months, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Sucked ass. Taxes are typically lower in an unincorporated area. Lower taxes often mean fewer local amenities like parks, libraries, and public work projects. But it's Palm Harbor, dude.
Yeah.
Like, there's tons of shit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We don't feel that. No.
Yeah, that might, dude. I mean, if you're,
there's no HOAs. HOAs suck. Dude.
Oh yeah, I'm not a huge
and like
fan,
DeSantis is talking about getting rid of that shit or something. Or
talking about getting rid of state taxes on your property taxes, which will be crazy huge, dude.
Well, but yes,
it'll come back
someplace else. No, these motherfuckers always get paid.
Oh yeah, for sure. It'll definitely come back somewhere else.
Prices of groceries or gas, something. The money always will come from someplace else.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what lens I look through that at, right? Because it's like, it's either the investor perception or the like agent perception of like being able to more easily sell homes to investors or I mean, it just depends, I guess, on what lens. But it could be beneficial. It could be, who knows though? It depends on, like you said, where is that being offset from? Yeah, that's what would matter, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it came through tourists and tourism, which is what our state predominantly does, I think, thrive on. Yeah, would that be a bad thing? I don't know.
Yeah, well, so again, economics, right? It's like, okay, so people come down here. It's now staying in a hotel is more expensive. Renting a car is more expensive. Amusement parks are more expensive, which how the fuck is that possible? They're already $1 billion. Other than Busch Gardens. Yeah. Still very affordable. Thank you, Busch Gardens. That Florida shit's awesome. It's like, buy a ticket, go the whole year.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I love it.
Yeah, that's sweet.
It's great. It sucks that it's a zoo, and when it's hot, the whole park's a zoo. Right. It smells funky, but that's Florida. Yeah, I'll take it. But yeah, like Disney, dude, it's literally. We went last year for my daughter's 4th birthday. I'm pretty sure we're still paying that off.
Yeah, probably.
I'm pretty sure because we went ham because we've never been. That was like our first time as a family.
Did you lighting pass or anything like the?
No, I don't think we did. Nope. Because there was something about spending like $2 million versus $1 million. Right. It's just like, yeah, no, it's crazy how much they charge. You guys, have you taken the family?
Yeah, of course, for sure. We did like the annual pass thing where you just like pay per month.
Oh, nice.
I think it was like $200 down and then like, I think 30 per month each or something.
That's not too bad.
But if you go twice a month, we were like,
and you guys were going that hard?
We were for a little while, yeah. Yeah. We haven't gone in a few months. It's been a few months, but we're just kind of like dialing back in at home, getting in good routines. But it was like,
plus you got that new baby.
Exactly, yeah.
Brand new baby.
11 months. We're soaking that
I guess
up.
he's really not a baby anymore. He's going to be 1, but he's still a baby.
Soon. Yeah, soon. He's a
He's
chump.
still a baby. I
Yeah,
know.
he's a
It's
chump.
good for you, dude.
Yeah.
See, man, it makes me want to have a baby. I'm not gonna have a baby, babe. We're not having a baby. All right, so just like tying a bow on that
dude,
thing. There. So
100%.
like, so commercials where it's at.
Yeah. And residential, dude. I love it all.
Yeah. So what do you got? So that commercial one you got anything residential cooking right now?
Yeah, I've got closing coming up Friday for a condo in Isla del Sol. I love that community. It's like a little golf.
Is it Isla or Isle?
I think it's Isla. I don't know.
You
Everybody
might
says
be right.
Isla. Everybody says Isla.
I don't know. You might be right.
But it's ISLA.
ISL
But I think it's Isla del.
It's
But
ISLA.
yes.
Oh, okay. It's not ISLE.
Nope.
Okay, I think ISLE is Isle.
Isle, yeah.
I could be.
ISLE is definitely Isle.
Isle. Okay, because I could be a dumb.
But it's
I could be beating dumb
ISLA
right now.
and-
Yeah. So Isla. What is Isla? It's got to be something Spanish.
I think so. Isla del Sol.
del Sol.
Something of sun, right?
Meaning.
Sol?
Yeah. Sol is money. Yeah. You're right. You're right. Island of the sun.
There
So
you go.
it is Isle.
Okay.
Island. Isla is island. So then, what's the difference between Isla
And Isle.
and Isle?
Let's find out. I'm not sure.
See, we're learning. I like to learn. So ISLE is a less common term for a small island,
Oh, interesting. Okay.
often used in formal writing,
Oh, okay.
poetry, and places like the Isle of Man. While island is the standard word for any body of land surrounded by water. So Isla is a Spanish word for island and also a Scottish given name pronounced Isla, which has no relation to the English word isle.
That's cool.
Dude, the English, you have kids.
Yeah, yeah.
You going through spelling with some of these kids?
Yeah, with the oldest.
It's tough because
But the lady does it, I'll be honest. Like I don't predominantly
no, but you understand English.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay,
for sure.
So so like when you try to explain like why GH makes a f noise,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Or like
It's just confusing. You're just like, what?
dude, it's not confusing me.
Right.
I just don't know how to teach it.
Of course.
And what I realize is the teachers don't know how to teach it either. The answer is
5-year-old or 8? Who's going through?
He's 7.
Seven-
He's
okay,
7. Yeah,
7-year-old,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So, he's second grade, and it's like he's super great at writing, but he's still writing phonetically
Right.
because that's
Yeah,
how you learn
of
it.
course.
Is you learn the phonetics. Okay.
Dude, there's a good video.
We can't break him out of the phonetics.
There's a good video, dude, that we show our kids.
Yeah?
And it's on phonetics. It's on YouTube. I don't know if it's for his age. It might be for younger kids, but it might
doesn't
be
matter.
for his age.
No, listen, I don't
It's
give a
called
shit.
Brain Candy, and I think it's literally phonetics. Brain Candy phonetics. And they do this cool thing where they like use cards and stuff to like help them understand. Like they definitely do the PH sound, like the f through PH, and like that helped my kids, I think, a lot.
So he was literally, I was helping him with homework before I came here, and he was like writing this thing, and he was just like, he wrote friends,
Right.
But he wrote FIR, fur,
Yep.
and then ends.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Right.
Phonetically, bro, this is fucking super accurate.
For sure. Dude,
But it's wrong.
Dude, the IE stuff, the IE,
But you're wrong.
the
Yeah.
IE stuff threw me off my whole life.
Yeah,
It still
dude.
does. I just look
I
it up.
I
I'll just
before
type
E,
it in
except
and let
after
it
C.
autocorrect come in, honestly.
Yeah. Well, dude, I
Like-
mean, sure. Yeah, we all do now. With this predictive text and
Yeah.
all these things. Yeah, dude.
We're
like,
just
for
talking
sure.
text, honestly. But,
Yeah, for sure. But
but it is good to know.
yeah, gotta know.
It's good to know for sure.
You gotta know because
For sure.
it's the reading too. So we do a lot of reading,
Nice.
and it's like he can read really well,
Yep.
right? So it's like you've seen the word friends, you've seen the word next,
Right.
right? But next he'll be like, neck, NECK, next, ST.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Right.
Wrong, but
Right.
phonetically
For
accurate.
sure, yeah.
And like it's
Interesting.
so like no.
Right.
No, enough is not ENUFF. It's not.
Right.
It's GH. And it's like, okay, why?
Right.
Because that's what they said it was.
Right,
And we're
exactly.
married to this.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's just super frustrated. Anyway, so time back. So you got some residential stuff going on, which is cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Commercial thing, hopefully that kicks off. I'm sure
Yeah,
it will.
yep.
What's another year
Right.
at this point?
Yeah.
At what point is that not financially like profitable?
It's always going to be profitable. If
Yeah.
it closes, it's profitable. For
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
for
like,
sure. Yeah.
Because I mean, honestly, like with the seller having brought the buyer on this, it's been their attorney. It's been their attorneys basically hashing out most of the stuff. I've only been gotten involved for the appraisal, and that was it. So it was like pretty hands off for me, honestly, with this one.
Right on.
So
whatever.
Yeah.
Let it rain.
Exactly.
Okay.
But the work on the front end was, it was a lot.
Stuff.
I put together a 30-page offering memorandum, which is what you create for commercial properties, and it basically like detailed why this was a sound investment for somebody buying real estate.
Sure.
And so it was like legit. It was
it's
like
like a sales,
I was trying
like a
I was
sales
like
sheet.
ripping my hair out because it was my first time doing something like that. It was extremely complex, and it was a lot. It was like a lot of.
Do you utilize AI at all to help you with any of this shit?
You can only use it to a degree. You
Sure.
know what I mean? Like,
but
I definitely
do.
do. Oh yeah, I definitely do. But there was only so much I could use it for. You know what I mean? To where then it was like not
Accurate.
exactly. Yeah, accurate. Because it's like all that stuff is accuracy is so important when you're doing that kind
so
of stuff.
litigious, right? Like
Exactly.
You gotta make sure legally sound
Exactly.
and accurate.
100%.
Yeah, I was plugging some Google Analytics numbers into this thing, and I know the numbers pretty well, but it was like, hey, take all this. I wrote this thing, it was really sloppy. Take all this and just make it sexy looking. And I'm reading it. I'm just like, what the fuck? What? And so I put it, I go, where did these numbers come from? And it goes, oh, you're right, good catch. It's like,
No
you
way. That's crazy,
Dude, but the craziest
That's
thing, I
nuts.
get emails from, I don't want to blast any clients, but
Yeah.
I get emails all the time where I'm like, you definitely didn't write this.
Right. Oh, you
This
do
is
for sure.
1,000%
Oh, 100%.
ChatGPT
Yeah, you can
or
tell
some sort of AI.
very easily these
It's just
days.
like, come on, dudes, you're not even reading your own stuff. It's like, it'll just, because ChatGPT specifically will start just going schizo.
Right.
It'll just start writing shit. And
Right.
It's like, okay. So I was reading this email, and so I responded back to this client. I think they watch this. You're a lovely person, but what I always say is it's a good starter.
Right.
It's not a finisher.
Exactly.
Use it and then rewrite it.
100%,
Okay.
yeah.
Use it to help you through. Expedite some processes.
Exactly.
Speed the processes up. Sure.
Yeah.
Read your own shit. Rewrite your own shit. Anyway, so I wrote back to this client. I said, "Hey, I don't think you meant to send this to me." And they were like, "Yes, I did." And I go, "Okay, I don't think this was ready to be sent to me." And they're like, "What do you mean?" And so I just screenshotted it, and at the bottom, you know how when you use ChatGPT, at the bottom will say use humanizer or whatever,
Yep.
and everything has dashes in it, and I just circled all the stuff, and I
Oh
was like,
my
and then use
gosh.
this thing, and I was like, dude, you clearly use ChatGPT, and that's fine.
Right.
However, don't send your customers
of course.
or potential, come on, dude,
Right.
it just saved you 10 minutes.
Yep. Exactly.
Put 2 minutes into the rewrite,
100%.
into the proofread, dude. It's crazy.
100%.
Okay, so sorry, brother.
You good?
Yeah, you're good. We're playing footsies. So you spent a year inside that one wellness center, and it inspired you to. You had an idea. You did all that hard work. You put those
Yep.
proposals together.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't take it. Fine, it wasn't for them. It's
Yep.
for you. Where do you go now?
Yeah, so I was going there as a consumer, and then I got into the management side of the business, working for free, like we talked about, and then we couldn't come to terms with an equity agreement. So they were so grateful for my involvement. So they were like, "Hey,
Sure.
we can give you a lifetime membership for free.
Yeah.
Come through whenever you want, use whatever you want," which was sick. And then I essentially am still coming into the facilities. I still go there all the time.
Lifetime membership. Can you bring a guest?
Yeah.
I've
Dude,
never
come
been.
through.
I'd love to.
Dude, come through. 100%.
Could I?
Come through,
I just
bro.
want to try
I've been
that.
telling-
I
thought
want to try
told
that.
Jay about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come through,
Tell
dude.
me.
Yeah. Come
Don't
through,
tell
dude.
him.
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely come through. That'd be great.
He'd just be so worried that someone's going to touch his booty hole or
Right.
something. He's really weird about his butt.
Yeah, you got to pay extra for that.
Yeah.
So that doesn't
I have
come
the
free.
cash. Do they take cash? And I'm just kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
So lifetime membership, that's
Yep.
a sweet deal.
Yeah. So I've been going there, and then over the time of going there, they did bring in a great manager for a period of time, but he ended up leaving a few months ago. So I've just seen this. I've just seen kind of what they're doing. So I'm trying to figure out a way to bring this in.
They
There's so much to go.
Did they implement any of your advice?
I think some of it, but I think that they went through a period, I think, where they didn't have really management, and then they brought in the guy that was kind of a guy that I hired to bring in because he was solid. He's a big guy in the community. Then they brought him on as manager for a while, and he was doing great. He's just great at building community, But still for whatever reason, they just didn't like, they weren't scaling in memberships. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think it's because they would like try things for marketing, but they just didn't like work for them, or they didn't like stick with it. You know what it really was? And this is what it really was they didn't have a system. You know what I mean? They didn't have a lead follow-up system. They have all these leads. They have all this like interest, but they never had a way to like capitalize on
that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
never
yeah.
had a way to like, you know, I just know from real estate especially, it's like when a lead comes in, you need to really like reach out. You need to like get them in or get together with them as soon as possible. You need to make a connection as soon as possible.
Sure.
And so, you know, with them, and this is kind of like skipping ahead, but then I'll go back.
Sure.
But skipping ahead over like the last few months since my buddy that was the manager there left, they've basically been operating from this kind of like a scarcity place, to be honest, like kind of a place of scarcity.
Sure.
And so they kind of like cut marketing, they cut the hours a little bit. They're like just like pulling back a lot, like
Which
pulling
is
back.
okay. Well, hold on. So from a marketing angle, okay,
Yeah.
and you probably know this, but for those that are listening, when sales are down, you ramp up marketing. You don't shut it off.
Yep.
I understand the panic.
Right.
It's like, yo, where's this money, dude?
Exactly.
If no one knows about your stuff,
Exactly right. That's it. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
it's the first thing. Marketing is usually the first thing to go,
Yep.
or the second thing to go. They'll cut personnel or hours. You
Yeah.
mentioned that. Or like, dude, no, that's when you throw more money.
Yes.
Double down on marketing, dude.
Exactly. So here's me. Here's
so
little
sorry.
little old me.
Yeah, so you get it.
Yeah, little old me in the facility again, right? I'm
Yeah.
sitting here. I'm seeing everything going on. I'm seeing what's happening. I'm
As a
seeing
patron,
customer-
because you're not helping
At a
them.
patron, just
Yeah.
a pure patron,
Yeah,
working on
'cause
my
they-
real estate stuff, sitting there on my little compression boots.
Yeah.
Just in the environment though, in the facility. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm very aware, seeing what's going on, and
paying attention.
I realize I'm like, dude, they need what I think actually a lot of wellness centers need, which is they need a system that's scalable so that they can bring in consistent leads and then convert them through automated processes on the back end. And so I was like, dude, I need to like help them. I need to help them get more people in the door. So I'm back in this like helping mindset, you know? So basically what happened was I'm looking at what they're doing and I'm seeing where they're like missing opportunities again. They've got a great facility. They've got a lot of, like, you'll come there, you'll see. Like, they've got a great facility, but they don't have the marketing to get people in the door. And then when they get people in the door, they still don't have a sales process because there's been so much staff turnover since I was there a year and a half ago. And it's like they just don't have
That's
a
not
sales
good sign
process,
either.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When people are hanging out, dude, it's usually a bad sign.
Exactly, but I think it's because the staff they're not like, there's no longer term play. And that was where the vision, when I brought 100 locations, like when there's a vision for growth and there's people like, oh, like, well, we're gonna be able to grow with this company. Like people love working in that space, dude. It's like when I used to work at gyms back when I was like 18, I worked at gyms opening them like 5 a.m. and it was like, you just love being in that space because the people, when they come in, they may be tired, but when they leave, they're just like through the roof. They're so
the
grateful and
energy's
happy.
good.
Exactly, the energy's great.
And the transformation's
And
good.
the transformations are amazing. Like life's change, lives change for
Yeah.
sure, for the better.
Yeah.
And so that's why I love that wellness space. It's like you're seeing people literally's lives get better.
Yeah,
day
come in
after
like
day.
this and
Exactly right.
take off.
100%.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
So my whole thing was I basically came to this thing where I'm like, they need what I actually believe a lot of wellness centers need, because I think a lot of these people, they invest a ton of money in these facilities. They literally like $500,000 sometimes per location.
Yeah.
And they've got everything in place to be successful, but they just don't have a marketing engine that works. So I came up with this We Market Wellness concept where I was basically going to help them run ads, maybe do some content, but I was like, kind of like, maybe I'll just outsource that to somebody that's what they do. But help them get people in the door.
Like Vilardi Digital.
That's exactly right. And then have them on the back end have a system built out like a CRM where it just auto text, email, follow it up to just get them in the building.
Yeah.
Get them on an appointment, get them on something, whether for free or for a low cost.
They're in the funnel.
Get them in the funnel.
Get them in the funnel.
Exactly right.
Yeah, take them through the process.
And
With it.
so I was like, I'll do all this for free, because my whole thing was like, I'll do this for free. I'll build out your marketing, but what I want a case study out of it, and I'm going to use this to take to other wellness centers, because I don't know how familiar you are with wellness centers, but they're just popping up all over the place.
Sure.
Like
I'm not
they
that
become very
familiar, but
common.
I have seen them everywhere. They're like, you know what the other thing that's popping up like crazy?
Med spas?
No, fucking these car washes, man.
Oh, dude, yeah, those are popping up everywhere too.
Drug laundry. They're laundering drug money.
I've
It's
heard
like
that.
a bunch of Heisenbergs, man. They're doing
Yep.
something. It's crazy.
There's a ton of them.
Yeah.
Well, the business model is pretty great. You know what I mean?
It is.
You
but
buy
dude,
the equipment, you either lease the land or you have the land that you own. And then it's like, once you put that investment up front, it's just staffing. Other than that, it's just cash flow.
Yeah, but bro, why? I understand one.
Right.
But dude, like, I'm not kidding. Just on US 19, it's
Yeah.
like there's one here. There's one like 2 miles away.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I could see the business model. Why? But it's all about like getting the market share in the area. That's why
Yeah.
they have like Woody's Car Wash. They have like 20 of them because it's
everywhere.
like because they're trying to capitalize. You know what I mean? Because then it's like if I'm over by Justin's house, I know I can go. Or if I'm over by my house, it's like that. You know what I mean? You build that, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go there.
Right, but then there's Bob's,
right? And
or there's like Speedy's,
there's
Mr. Speedy, or whatever.
Like
Yeah, there's a ton.
Mod
There's
Wash,
literally
there's a
so many in the last 5 years.
Dude, there's a million.
They're popping up everywhere, and they're continuing to pop up.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, go ahead. All right, so you're saying like,
Yeah, so I was like,
yeah,
I presented that to them. They were all on board. Long story short, I'm in there. I'm behind the scenes again. I'm in the trenches again, and I'm like, I can run all this stuff, but like we got to make sure that other stuff's dialed in.
right.
Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense.
None
It doesn't
of this
matter.
works.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't work unless like the whole thing's got to come together.
Yeah.
And so I basically sent them like these long texts where I'm just like, here's a couple things that I think we need to really make sure, like at least a good uniform, like a nice polo, just so like we're setting the vibe. Like
Right.
if we're gonna do any
because
content,
people are
like,
just coming in, just come as you
they're
are.
wearing like t-shirts and stuff, like like the staff.
like with like logos on them, or just.
Sometimes just
But
white
none of it
t-shirts
was
and-
uniform. Like none of
No,
it
it's
made
just-
sense.
no,
It's come
it-
as you are.
pretty much for the staff.
yeah,
it
it's
just
bad.
doesn't look good. I mean,
Well, it's
it
bad for
doesn't look
brand.
professional.
Yeah,
I'm trying to help the
100%.
brand, right?
Yeah.
Like
Look
I'm
what
trying
happened to
help
fucking
them-
Starbucks. They let all those
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
kids dye their hair and be fucking wear whatever the fuck you want, and fucking salesmen.
Yeah,
Because service went.
Exactly.
Because professionalism went.
exactly.
All that shit went down.
Something about having like the
You have
company,
to.
like you know what I mean. It just like creates
Yeah.
a different aura around the business.
Yeah.
So
Well, because if you don't give a shit about how you look,
yeah,
how are you going to give a shit about anything else?
exactly, for sure.
Processes.
Yeah, it's foundational in a way,
customers.
for sure.
Yeah, dude. Everything starts with like, if you feel good,
Yep.
if you look good, you feel good.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know, coming in with like a clean fucking outfit on.
Yeah.
Like it makes you feel good. And if you feel good, then you provide really good customer service. Because that's what all this shit's about anyways. It doesn't matter if you're selling compression boots or,
Right.
or hawking that or marketing services or fucking real estate.
Yeah.
Like you gotta play the part,
Facts.
you know?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy a house from a hobo, dude. I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't give a shit how much he wants for that cardboard box. I'm not buying it. You know,
Right,
like because
yeah.
you're a hobo.
Right.
But if you were like, you know, well-to-do, looking, it's a shtick.
Yeah.
And there's a problem with that too, because it doesn't mean they're bad people.
No, of course.
But
Yeah,
it's
of course.
all this is a game.
Yeah,
dude.
exactly. You got to play the game. You
It's
got to
a
be
ga- I
invested in
don't-
the game.
Right. And it's not my game.
Exactly.
It's the game.
Right.
Play the game.
Facts.
Or don't.
Exactly
But don't
right.
bitch about the game.
Exactly right.
Anyway, so
Yeah,
keep
no,
going.
dude, you're spot on.
I'll
So
do
all
this.
that to
I'll
say,
just like
yeah, dude,
I'll
all
black
that to
out, I'll just say
that,
things.
Like that's where it kind of left off. I was just like, hey, I'm not getting like I said, I was doing all of this for my own intentions, for sure, as a case study, right, to do this for other centers, and this was because in my business, I'd hit like a bit of a slowdown in the real estate space. So I was like, this will be a great way to be involved in something I'm super passionate about. I want to open my own facilities anyways, eventually. It's all win-win-win. I'm just going to learn how to market and get people in the door.
Right.
And then I'll know when I open my own facilities that this will be like, if I'm going to get investors for it,
Right.
I'll have already have this dialed
you have
in.
the business model, you have the plan,
Exactly.
you have the roadmap. Dude, no,
you know what I mean?
fucking smart.
So I was like,
know
this
exactly
is a good
what you mean.
circular way
Yeah.
to like keep the energy still flowing in that direction of opening facilities.
Sure.
But also though, if there's like facilities that I'm helping, but they're just like, we don't know what we got into, we just want to get out of this. Maybe there's a way that I could owner finance that business and then convert it into my concept.
Sure.
So there's like all these different things that I'm thinking like in ways that it could work.
Right.
But long story short, they weren't willing to do on their end. Like it was as simple as down to like, hey, I just need to know what credit card to use to set up the Google local ads to like, so I can start running these to like the local zip codes, literally right around your facility, and we can get
Right.
those people in the door. And it was like nobody responded. And then it's like, you know, and I just think it's like, unfortunately, and I'm not trying to give too much of their personal business out there. Kind of already have given a little bit, but it's
Sure.
like. I think at the end of the day, it's just like they're just not invested. And that was what I was bringing to the table in the very beginning with the equity agreement. It's like you need somebody that's invested.
Right.
Neither of these owners are like very invested in it. And
Sure.
that changes things, dude, you know?
Well, yeah. Also, too, David, man, like everyone has a gift. Okay. So, like, my gift isn't like accounting,
Right.
right? My gift is like creative marketing.
Yeah.
right? Production, creative, marketing, writing,
Cool. Yeah.
music. Okay?
Right.
Those are my gifts.
Yep.
So if somebody's I'm not a CFO,
Right.
Right.
Oh,
But if I need a CFO, I'm not going to pretend
Right.
to be a CFO or hire my wife who's a nurse to
Right.
be CFO. You know what I'm saying? And I think there's a lot of that goes on, is that like there's a lot of faking it. And there's a difference between faking it until you make it, and there's a difference between like, yo, dude, we're straight up we're pretending.
Right.
And it's hurting the vision, it's hurting the long-term success.
Yeah.
And I think what I'm hearing, if I'm hearing you right, is that this company has a lot of people that had access to funds and a really great idea, and were passionate about the idea of the business, but not the day-to-day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think they thought that it was going to be like, we're going to put all this stuff in this box, and then everybody's going to come
And
to the
everybody's
box.
just going to come hump our legs
Exactly.
and just
I think that was the
dying to come
that
in
was
here.
the idea, and I
Sure.
think that like
So a lot of people have that.
and to a degree they were like the earlier adopters in St. Pete, but now there's like 20 competitors, and this is that's where my concept I do think ultimately eventually will be a very big differentiator, because it'll be the one and only of its kind, and it's really a niche down to a specific audience, which I think is.
Which yours is, but yours is even more unique because you're tying in faith.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's
so.
that's
Talk
the
to me
biggest
about
part
so why. So I get I think I get on a top level, on an executive summary style.
Yeah.
Of like the benefits of like the wellness. There's nootropics. There's all this stuff.
Yeah,
Wellness is top of mind for a lot of people.
100%.
We're learning a lot about these different types of like red light therapy, cold plunges, like all this shit.
This Vitality Place has all that.
Yeah, right. So, all this stuff is definitely like top of funnel right
100%.
now, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But you want to do something different. Right?
I want to do something that has that stuff, but the model is different.
Right.
And the model is more affordable and attainable for the average person.
Sure.
Because a lot of these facilities cater to like, maybe you get 4 credits for $100 a month. Like, I want my concept to be a lot more
accessible for the average person.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, but then you're doing something even better, which is the faith part.
Exactly.
Right. So talk to me about like what's your vision there, and why does that matter?
Yeah. Well, so got to go back a little bit, and so I had stepped away completely when the equity agreement didn't go through, but then about 3.5 months ago when I started reading the Bible, something just like hit me, and it was like hit me like a ton of bricks, and it was like I felt like it was God telling me, hey, you had this idea, I want you to still do this, but I want you to do this for me. You had this idea of like how you were going to do it, what you were going to do, and like it was all about you to a degree. Like you wanted to like, and just being honest, dude, it was like there's some little part of me probably that like on a like I heard this broken down before, where it was like there's our higher self, there's just our day-to-day self, and then there's like our lower drivers of like just like this like the lower drivers of life. And I think on some level it was like just wanting to be around attractive girls, and I don't mind just being open and honest about it. It is what it is. And so there was that like element of me that was like on a lower level wanting that. On a day-to-day, it's just like doing something good, and on a higher level, it's like really helping people transform their lives. Like this is depending on like where my brain chemistry probably was or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So
if you busted a nut the night before,
exactly right.
Girls aren't top of mind. Yeah, totally get it.
Or the opposite sometimes.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's like, the brain is like a hamster. But anyways, it's so I basically. The faith component came in because I felt like I felt like I heard God saying to me, this is what you're supposed to do, and I want you to do it for me, not for yourself, and I want you to help bring people to me. And that was where I was like, wow, I've definitely never I would have never thought about that on my own. I feel like, you know what I mean? I felt like it was like a download. Like it felt like it was like God is saying, this is what you're going to do, and this is how it's going to be extremely successful, and it's going to work.
So okay, I love that.
Yeah.
So how do you tie faith into the wellness?
Yeah. So in the logo, as you can see, you know what I mean? And like my vision for that logo is that when it's on a building is that like the cross is the only thing that night that's illuminated.
This one that's going to be right here, right there.
Yep. So like at night, it's like a stained glass kind of concept, but like when that is at night, that cross will be the only thing illuminated, and it's supposed to be like a sign of like refuge and safety and just like and faith. You know what I mean? And so it'll tie in. I'm not sure like on a like I keep thinking about and looking at different models. Like Chick-fil-A is technically a Christian-based business, but they're not very like forward.
They're not in your face.
They're not in your face like that.
Yeah.
But I really feel like that could deter some people, but I also believe that it'll attract that crowd that will resonate with that. And I feel like that market is underserved. And I feel like it aligns with the faith, like a healing and being somebody that's healed to help others heal. And so I have ideas on a day-to-day basis of like how to incorporate the faith. Like I'd like to have like even this thing that doesn't exist that I plan to create for the facilities, which will kind of be our own like unique proprietary modality. Which I'll save that for when it's existing.
Don't give it all away.
Yeah.
Leave them hanging.
But there's some definitely some proprietary stuff that will be in that facility that will be like a prayer room, but it will be through at least the experiences that I've had with these two things separately combined. I truly believe it'll almost be like a transcendental experience where you'll really be able to tap into like a really deep.
Dude, so Luke and his wife, she does like this meditative, like sound frequency 100%. Stuff.
Yep.
Right. 2 schools of thought on there from a religious perspective, not from a. And this is, I don't want to be inflammatory because I love Luke. I've not met his wife, but I love her by association because I love Luke. There's power in a lot of places, and not all of them are God.
Right.
That's a fact.
Yep.
Okay. And so what I don't know enough about yet is what's going on with, like, if you're meditating, what are you meditating on?
Right.
Some people say the universe. Okay. But is that God? And I don't know. I'm earnestly asking.
Right. I think meditation means something different to everybody. You know what I mean? And like my perception on meditation is all of it counts, I guess, in meditation, whether you're clearing your mind intentionally or creating space. But I view it as how I view that room, the prayer room and meditation room, is that you're clearing space and energy. You're energetically putting your body and mind in a frequency in which you can be open to receiving from God. Like you're putting yourself in a position where you're not feeling any pain or anything in your body, so you're actually able to receive, and that's what I believe that room will help to open.
And I believe you, right? But like a seance, right?
Yep.
That has nothing to do with God.
What is a seance?
Like a seance is like a ritual, like seances are usually witches would do it with candles or some sort of like, the occult. Mm-hmm. A seance is essentially a meditation or a prayer to X. So Wiccans do it. Christians do it. That's what prayer is, right?
Right. Yep.
We're just praying to God, right? But when you're doing it, you're praying to something.
Sure.
And so like one of the questions I had is that like, about your thing specifically is it's about healing, right? It's like, but what are you really after? Like, is it physical? Is it spiritual? Is it both? And it sounds like it's both.
It's definitely both. But I think that it's like when you're physically, and I'm definitely not saying that it's going to heal everybody. You know what I mean? Sure, it's like all of that stuff's very individual. But I do believe that what I actually came to the root of now believing that the facilities will do is they'll really help to alleviate stress in a lot of people's lives, or there'll be a place of like, I know.
Refuge.
Exactly. I'll go there and I'll leave a better person because the stress that's been on my shoulders will be at least minimized in a way that's impacting my life, And so like one example that I've given to some people is like, guys like us are working, right? We're done by like maybe like 5:30. This is the spot you're going to pop by and you're going to do cryotherapy. Maybe you're going to do infrared sauna detox a little bit, but you're going to go home and you're going to be more present because you're going to be feeling a lot better. Your body's literally going to be healthier and you're going to be feeling better. Yeah. And so it's going to create space for you to be more present as a dad, as a husband, and it's going to
as a human.
100% as a human. Yeah. And it might that might lead to that one little bit better of a choice that, you know what I mean, compounds. And so that's kind of how I look at it. It's like one domino in the whole chain of dominoes that allows to create better habits in life and just a better like lifestyle.
Yeah. So I'm into that.
It's kind of the door, and also it'll have the faith component where it's like there will be, nights where the facility will be able to be used for Bible studies, and there will be nonprofit component that I have built into it as well, which I'll probably keep to myself for now, but there's a nonprofit component where it'll be basically allowing people in the community that need the facility, that can't afford it, to have access.
Sure.
So it'll be great in that regard too.
Brother man, I dig it. You're talking about peace. You're talking about doubt. You're talking about calling. I think, David, dude, at the end of the day, man, here's what I know to be true.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a God, and he's very, very real. And if you're open to hearing it and paying attention, if you're open to it, right, you will be guided.
Yep.
Okay. And in my experience, guided in ways that you would have never imagined. B, you would have never friggin' chosen, dude. I would have never chosen a lot of the things I've chosen in the last 20 years.
Yep.
But if you're open to it, man, it'll happen, right? And so what I'll say to you is that I like the idea. I think it's rad. I like that you're on fire for not only God, but you're open to what he has, because he has something for all of us.
Facts. Right? Yeah, I believe that.
And just keep listening, man. Joey said something to me one time, and I've talked to like my pastor about it too, and he's like, absolutely, is that when we pray, know that God isn't the only one that's hearing those prayers.
Interesting.
You dig?
Yep.
So I say that to say that, like, sometimes, we pray for things and our motivation could be askew.
Sure.
Right? And we could even start getting some confirmations of that prayer, right? But it's not good for you. And here's my proof of that. There was nothing greater in this world that I loved more than music. Loved it. I loved playing it. I loved performing it. I loved writing it. I loved being around it. And I think I told you this on the boat, dude. Like, it would have killed me.
Yeah, you did.
That lifestyle would have just destroyed me.
Yep.
The drugs, the women, the drinking, I just dead.
Yep.
Spiritually would have been dead. As a human being, would have been just, if I literally didn't physically die, I would have just been a trash bag of a human, right? Yep. And so, but I prayed for it, and I loved it, and it felt good, and it wasn't good.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. I follow.
So all this wasn't even a thought in my mind in my 20s, right? Production, commercial work, marketing, advertising, all that stuff. Not in a million years, dude.
Right.
Until I recognized, right? I had this epiphany, so to speak, about like what I'm doing isn't good, and I love it more than anything else in this world. God, take it away. And like that, dude.
Wow.
I don't want to play music anymore.
Interesting.
And it was like all these really wonderful things happened that at the time didn't make a lot of sense and were very, very scary. But it was like, yo, I'm moving to Costa Rica for a year.
Wow.
And it happened so with zero effort. It was like,
wow.
Oh, cool, go to Costa Rica. It's like, done.
Yep.
Went to Costa Rica. A bunch of stuff happened in Costa Rica. Came back. And again, this happened in the span of like 15 years, right? But no, not quite. Maybe 12 years. I don't know. I'm not good at math. My point is that you can love something, dude, and it could not be good for you.
Right.
You could want something, and it could not be good for you. I'm seeing all this, and I'm hearing what you're saying. I hear a lot of good. Don't rush into it.
Right.
If it's real, it'll happen, and it'll happen supernaturally because, again, I'm only speaking from my experience, man.
For sure,
it happened supernaturally, man.
Yeah.
I can't explain it, and when I tell people, like I'm telling you, they're just like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it either. But like my wife would have never met my wife if I kept playing music.
Right.
Which means I would never have my kids, which means none of this would ever been here. Like my life would have been 10x fucking different.
Right.
If I wasn't dead.
Yeah.
Because I was partying.
Oh, I believe it too.
I was fucking, yeah. Because, dude, I like to party.
Right.
I have that personality. I'm an addict.
Right.
You know? And I'm not like a drug addict, but like I have that personality. Where
Right.
it's like I like hanging out with people.
Yep.
I like fucking drinking. I think girls are hot.
Right.
I like fucking music. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
so I
dude.
was like,
Of course.
I wasn't like Motley Crue.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? But like,
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it way too much, more than people should. And then I was really good at lying about it, and I was really good about hiding it. And I was really, because I knew better. I grew up, I knew better.
Right.
Right? I knew what I was doing was fucked up.
Sure.
You know? So, I mean, again, my point of sharing any of that with you, dude, is that, like, if it's real, it'll happen.
Yep.
Don't give up on it. It feels good. It sounds good, right? It makes sense. I think there's a market. You're not stupid. All the pieces are there. Mm-hmm. They're all there. So just keep fucking pounding on it, and just, you know, if it's from God, it'll be great.
Right.
Recognize if it's not,
Yep.
and move on. 100%. But you've had experience doing that. Sounds like you've had a lot of like,
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I believe that it'll be one of those things where it'll be definitely recognized. You know what I mean? Whether that's actually what I'm supposed to be doing or not, or whether that's, you know, how he wants me to be used. So
yeah,
yeah.
Right on. Well, dude, I appreciate you coming.
Dude, it's been great. It's been fun.
Yeah. Sometimes the thing that's, dude, sometimes the thing that's missing in your life, you know, has a really amazing way of popping up.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, dude, you got 3 cool kids.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds like I've never met them, but I know kids are cool.
Yeah, they're a blast.
Yeah. But yeah, have the courage, man, to really listen. Have the courage to, you know, and our wives, man, are super important. Our spouses, man.
100%.
Make sure you have the buy-in.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and the support there.
Yep. Yeah, I'm blessed, man. She's great.
Yeah.
My lady's great.
Yeah.
We didn't get to talk about her much but yeah, she's great.
We didn't. Hey, Harley.
I love you, babe.
Yeah. And hey, Harley's family, Brittany, and everybody else, and your mom. How's the mom doing? She good?
Good. Oh, yeah, great.
Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, they're in Dunedin.
They're always
They're
rad,
not far
man.
away. Yeah,
Such
they're
a
great,
cool,
dude.
Big fans of the band. I've always been a fan. Always been a fan. Appreciate you guys. And I appreciate you, man.
Dude,
thanks for coming out.
great, bro.
Yeah,
Appreciate
cheers,
you.
Yeah, cheers. If you like the show, like and subscribe and share it. And we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, sweet.
Cheers.
Thanks, brother.